know you wanna be hardcore with your hat to the back, talking about the
訂正もすぐできないなんて本はやっぱり前時代的だな。
Yo, what's happening, gamers? Welcome to Tricky Jim. Thank you so much for tuning in on this lovely Thursday night. We have got some Pokemon TCG action headed your way with our Gym Leader Challenge League night tonight. Looks like we have got a fantastic turnout for GLC night tonight, folks. I mean, look at that. That is just our weekly GLC Thursday night events, and we have got quite a few players who have turned out to play Gym Leader Challenge format featuring the newest cards from Destined Rivals. Let's take a look at who we've got getting ready for round number 1 over here. Very fun. Nice to see Anthony back to play Gym Leader Challenge formats. He has been frequenting the chat lately, but I've not seen him show up to GLC League too much since earning his colorless badge, which the badge board is very hidden right now, so I'll have to try and fix that in the upcoming weeks. But looks like we've got a lot of players tonight. Let's see what these I just barely missed it. The leaks on what they're playing. We've got 23 players tonight. Wow. And looks like Anthony is playing Fire. So we got Anthony Seo on the right playing Fire. And I think that Logan or Oredo is playing Psychic on the left. $23 players tonight. That is a great turnout. So we're going to have a full 5-rounder this evening. And how fun is that? 5 rounds of Gym Leader Challenge formats. I'm happy to report that I have also lent out my Rockets Tyranitar deck, which is nearly fully blinged, to one player out there. So my Rockets Tyranitar list is in the hands of somebody. Loganarito, got it. Thank you. Yeah, somebody out there at GLC League has got my exact deck, which I am working on picking up all of the bling for the deck. It is tough. It is tough. I have a lot of the cards that I need, but not all of them. Definitely not all of them. The toughest one that I still need is the Rosa full art. That is going to be kind of tough to get my hands on, I think. But I did just pick up a light play Cynthia and Caitlin full art from Full Grip Games. So props to the shop for having that. I was excited to get to add that to the deck just recently. All right, here we go. We've got it. Round number 1 is underway here at Full Grip Games. We've got Logan Arito on the left playing a Psychic build, it looks like. And Anthony Saya on the right going second and opened Volcanion, which is probably like the strongest opener that you can open in the fire deck going second. I mean, that is incredible there for Anthony. This Volcanion has got the Flare Starter attack. Allows you to search your deck for a fire energy attached to one of your Pokemon. Unless you're going second and it's your first turn. And dang, Anthony popping off. Turn 1 Volcanion Flare Starter going second with the turn 1 Ball Guy, everybody. Oh, it's about everything that you could be asking for from this fire deck. Ball Guy is such a funny card. It's a card that was like extremely bad in standard format. Like never, ever, ever saw play. But in Gym Leader Challenge formats, I don't know what's more indicative of Gym Leader Challenge format. You know, this card, there's a reason why Ball Guy is kind of the unofficial mascot of Gym Leader Challenge, because it's symbolic, right? Ball Guy is a card that was terrible the entire time it was legal in standard, a never played card. But it's a card that's, you know, often considered a staple in Gym Leader Challenge decks because of its flexibility. There are a lot of different balls that have been printed from black and white onward, and Ball Guy can act as a turn 1 setup supporter, as we see Anthony using it for that turn 1 setup now to go get basic Pokemon out of his deck. And then we'll also have targets so that he can use the Flare Starter attack to accelerate energy onto those Pokemon on his bench. It's also good on the second turn of the game because you can search out evolution balls like Timer Ball and Ultra Ball to go get any of those evolved Pokemon that you're trying to set up. So it's a card that's good at multiple points in the game. It usually is not good anymore by the end of the game, but it does do more for you than a card like Gloria or Bridget, which is only locked in to getting basic Pokemon, right? Ball Guy can kind of be that flexible card that can get you basics or evolutions, and that's why it sees play. And not only that, if you're playing water or fighting, you could use Magma Ball or Aqua Ball in your deck as well, and that gives Ball Guy even more flexibility because you can go get energy out of your deck. Actually, Grass has that ability as well with Net Ball. Ball Guy can go get Net Ball to get a Grass energy out of the deck. In Water, Water has access to Dive Ball, which gets any water Pokemon you want out of the deck. So just some really, really powerful options with Ball Guy throughout the formats. But Anthony looks like he is set up. Got Nest Ball, Quick Ball, Ultra Ball. Got all the dudes here ready to go and can accelerate up to 3 fire energy from his deck to his Pokemon in any way he likes. And it looks like he is favoring that Skeledirge, or I should say Fuecoco, who evolves into the Dirge. And Skeledirge is certainly kind of starting to become more popular in fire decks. It is a really heavy hitting attacker. Oh my gosh, and just a quick attach pass from Logan. Logan doesn't have anything going on. No evolution search in his hand. Wobbuffet in the active spot. So you have to keep in mind, Anthony does not have access to any of his abilities right now. So even though he just used Evolution Incense to go search for Magcargo, he can't actually use the Smooth Over ability. So since Anthony can't use Smooth Over because of the ability lock from Wobbuffet, he just has to use Evolution Incense, go get that Magcargo, and then we'll use Flare Starter one more time to accelerate an energy to his active Volcanion. And Volcanion can actually get in there with the High Heat Blast now that he's got enough energy in play. High Heat Blast does do 110 damage, and that's enough to knock out this Wobbuffet. And I think he, top-decked Arven. So can play Arven to go get a tool card and an item card out of his deck. And it looks like he's eyeing up Buddy Buddy Poffin potentially, Trainer's Mail potentially. It's always funny when you play a card like Arven to go get a Trainer's Mail to help you get another card. But it could be valid because if you get a card like Trainer's Mail off of the Arven here, I actually really like this line from Anthony, the Floatstone and the Trainer's Mail, because what that's going to allow Anthony to do is Anthony's going to take this knockout with High Heat Blast, and then next turn, assume that Wobbuffet goes away, right? Because you knocked it out. Oh, okay, no, I actually don't like this play now. I really liked the play when I thought Anthony was just going to hold the Trainer's Mail. And the reason why I wanted to see Anthony hold the Trainer's Mail is because next turn he could stack his deck with Magcargo and then draw into the card that he stacked with Trainer's Mail, right? So like you could stack a Research or something and then just go draw into it. But, you know, this is fine too. He did luck out and find an Erica's. So, yeah, that's fine. So Anthony's going to go down to 5 prizes remaining, and now Logan has a fully powered Giratina that he's just been powering up over the course of the last few turns, and Giratina is actually ready to roll now, doing 130 damage with a Shadow Impact attack. So Logan's going to tie things up. Still, Logan would like to find more draw cards because Logan has not played a draw supporter yet, and Anthony is starting to move, and Anthony does have the 1-2 combo. I'm so excited to see this. We have got the Magcargo and the Rapidash both in play. Magcargo's got the Smooth Over ability, so you can stack your deck once during your turn. I mean, incredible. But then with Rapidash, you've got the Hurry Gate ability, and you can draw a card. So with both of these, you essentially have Quick Search in play. You could go get whatever you want, right? You stack your deck, draw into it. It's basically Quick Search. It's broken. Just 2 one of Stage 1 Pokemon, enabling that to happen. Now, Anthony decided to play his Erica's Hospitality first so that he would draw cards, gain information, and then decide what he wanted to do with his Smooth Over. So it looks like he's trying to piece that together now. I don't really see a lot of, great stuff that he got off of the Erica's. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to rare candy into Skeledirge. I think that would be like your ideal move. He's going to get the Magma Basin Stadium, which can help accelerate energy into play. Maybe we're going to go in with the Entei this turn. But Entei only does 120 damage, so notably not a KO on this Giratina. It does soften the Giratina up. So next turn, if Anthony is able to maybe like get the Blaziken going, then it could be like a pretty gnarly double knockout with Blaziken, since this Giratina is already softened up. But then you got to keep in mind, like, Monkey Dory is there too. So Monkey Dory can fix these damage counters with its Adrenabrain ability, which is also super annoying. So we might see some Monkey Dory shenanigans come out from Logan. And we see he's moved 3 damage counters over to the Rapidash. Gonna take another prize. Still Logan just not playing any draw cards, not setting up his board. His board is very frail, even though he's in the prize lead. I gotta say that the favor looks like it's leaning to Anthony right now, just because Anthony has got that Magcargo and the Rapidash set up. So Anthony can really just hand select exactly what he wants out of his deck and kind of craft his path that way. You know, thank you, Last Porg, for that Prime sub in the 14 months over on Twitch. Really appreciate the support. Thank you. Anthony's got research, so could just go for it. Just go for it, dude. Just research and say, like, I'll find like Blaziken, or yeah, I like this play. Research, say I'll find Blaziken or I'll find Rare Candy. Yep. Like, you just got to say, like, I'll find one piece and then I'm going to find the other piece off of the Magcargo Rapidash, right? And we do see that he was able to find Rare Candy. So we are going to get to see a huge Blaziken attack this turn, folks. It is happening right here, right now. Anthony has got everything he needs to piece this bad boy together. He's got the burning energy on the Torchic and counter gain. And since Anthony is behind in prizes, that means that counter gain is going to make it so that Inferno Kick Flurry costs 1 energy less. And with the burning energy, you can discard burning energy, right? So it says discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. You could discard the burning energy, and the effect of burning energy is that when it gets discarded, it comes right back into play. So effectively, Anthony will only have to discard 1 energy from Blaziken to make this play happen. And here, I have to say, I think knocking out the Monkey Dory just feels the best. The Monkey Dory could come up and like confuse you with an energy attachment. It's also annoying moving those damage counters. The other two aren't really doing anything. But let's see what Anthony decides to go for. I kind of like the Monkey Dory here, but I also definitely understand the Ralts. Just denying the Kirlia coming up, I mean, can certainly just put this game away. So that's hype. Double knockout from Anthony. The first time we've seen Inferno Kick Flurry successfully launched on stream. So a big play there from Anthony. This is the first time we've ever seen this attack used on stream. And it is one of the cards that I'm most excited about from Destined Rivals. And you know, knocking out the Ralts is starting to feel really good from Anthony, considering Level Ball is a card that Logan had in hand and could have potentially used Level Ball to go search for Kirlia, but instead has to settle from Mew from Celebrations. Does get some mileage out of the Adrenabrain ability. and then has to promote Mew and use the mysterious tail ability. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You can put a item card you find there into your hands. And that's the thing about Mew, is a lot of times it feels like this card gets used because you have to, you know, you need a supporter or something, but Mew can't get those supporters out of your deck. It can only find item cards. So this card is really only going to be effective in the most item-heavy Gym Leader Challenge decks. Sometimes it can help you to find maybe a Evolution Incense or an Ultra Ball or something like that, but a lot of times I find that the Mew isn't getting me a high-value card, so it's not a card that I typically play in my Psychic decks. I see Logan finds Scoop Up Net, but then it's still just kind of struggling to make things flow together. It's gonna Escape Rope, and I think Anthony's got... I mean, literally, Anthony can stack whatever he wants this next turn. So the scary thing is, if Anthony just uses Blacksmith, right, then we're going to see another Inferno Kick, which is just going to be absolutely disgusting. Oh, and he's got the Escape Rope. I mean, like, my goodness, dude. Blacksmith is in hand. Just make it happen, you know? Just make the magic happen, Anthony. Put it all together. Blacksmith to the Blaziken. Inferno Kick Flurry again. The people are dying to see another Inferno Kick Flurry. Oh, baby, yes. The content. Anthony is just milking the content with this game. Look at that. Another Inferno Kick Flurry. And I cannot believe Timer Ball flipped double tails. That's so unlike Timer Ball. That never happens. Never see a double tails on Timer Ball. I mean, honestly. You know, 75% of the time, it gets you something. Anthony also going to take this opportunity to set up the Dirge. As we see, he used Smooth Over to stack Skeledirge, and then Hurried Gate will draw into it. So now Anthony has got the Skeledirge established. Blaziken ready to roll too. And I have to ask, you know, is Anthony going to take this knockout with the Dirge? No, you go for the double KO with Blaziken, and why not? After all, why shouldn't you? Escape Rope, and here is another Inferno Kick Flurry. And Anthony is going to go to just one prize card remaining. Oh my God. Leaving just a single Monkey Dory. And that hand is just looking completely unplayable from Logan. An Ultra Ball cannot possibly save him now. And with the Burning Energy on the Blaziken, Anthony only has to discard one energy effectively, because when Burning Energy gets discarded from play, it just goes right back onto the Pokemon. And there's the hand extension. Yeah, not happening there. Anthony making his Fire List look absolutely invincible in that game. I mean, that was just an absolute thrashing. Blaziken with the Inferno Kick Flurry and the Skeledirge, all the pieces coming together for Anthony. A turn 1 Volcanion going second, charge those energy into play. Now, if you're on YouTube, you will notice that I've got the Jump Bluff, the Rapid Strike Jump Bluff on the thumbnail, and that's because Sarah is in the house tonight, and she is playing her double hit grass deck. The double hit grass deck was a really cool deck that we got to see briefly, I should say, during the Gym Leader Challenge 3K this past weekend. And the reason it was so brief is because Sarah just ended up like winning the game on turn 2 because she was able to evolve into Jump Bluff, go knockout, and that was it, right? That was crazy. So she's back, and we'll see if she's able to put it all together with her Rapid Strike Jump Bluff deck. This go around. I'm still working on editing up the Gym Leader Challenge tournament from a couple weeks ago that I participated in with my Tyranitar deck. So I'm working on that YouTube video now. I think it's going to be pretty sick. I'm stoked with how it's coming out, but it needs a little more time in the oven. So I'm still baking that. I doubt I'll put like a solid 8 hours into it tomorrow, but I doubt that's going to be enough to finish it. It could be, I guess. Like maybe it is. I'm so bad at judging how long it takes for video editing projects to come together. Honestly, I'm atrocious at it. And frankly, it's just better that way because videos are better when you don't look at them and are like, that's 40 hours worth of work right there that just earned $50 in ad revenue. It's better when you don't think of it that way. It's better to not think about how long the videos took to make. So that's a thing. And then we've got, folks, the North American International Championships are fast approaching. All right, I know what we're going to do in our 20 minutes of downtime, folks. That's right, folks. We're so freaking back. The North American International Championships. Listen, if I can get this Tyranitar video done, I'll actually stream my testing for NAIC. I've been grinding out games on my phone and stuff so that I can just get reps in. I mean, like, you know, my son woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and wouldn't go back to bed. So, like, yeah, unless I was holding him. So, you know what that means, folks. Time to grind out the Pokemon trading card game live. Yo, last pork. Thoughts on the Tyranitar fighting deck? Are you talking about my Gym Leader Challenge Tyranitar fighting deck? I think my list that I've posted a couple weeks ago is very solid. The only cut that I've made is that I would cut the Blood Moon for a Raihan. But other than that, that's like... that. I think the list is like perfect. So yeah, I've thought about doing a daytime stream. I leave for New Orleans next Wednesday morning. So I was thinking about maybe doing I was thinking about maybe doing a Pokemon TCG live stream on like Monday or Tuesday during the day just to like get as much practice in for New Orleans as possible. But I've got one thing I want to do before that. And that's just, I want to finish this Gym Leader Challenge YouTube video that I'm working on editing right now. So that's what I'm working on. Working on editing up that video. Once that video is done, am I playing Moon? The Moon deck at least interests me, but it's probably not good. I've drawn some real potato hands with this deck, which does not instill confidence. Yeah, I've definitely drawn some real potato hands. Plus, like when your opponent chooses to go first, that's a total buzzkill. Unless they just do this, in which case, all right, we're so back. Oh, baby. Let's just do this thing. Should be pretty easy to negotiate. You would think. But I do not have it. Dang it, I'm short. Yeah, see, this deck is trash, bro. This deck is utter trash, dude. Like, how could you want to bring this atrocity to a tournament? I know GLC night is huge tonight at the shop. I mean, I was really excited. That's great turnout. 24 players, and we're missing a bunch of regulars. It definitely could have been like a 30 player night here at GLC night. I mean, there's a pretty full looking house here at the shop. It's looking great. Heather's here playing her metal deck, and I lent my fighting deck to Ben Morse. So Ben Morse is playing the Hitmon combo fighting deck, but Ben is playing against Psychic, I think. Yeah, I think it's probably Psychic. And Psychic's not like the best matchup. It depends on, how this is going against Chase. Psychic can definitely be sketchy, but like last week I beat 2. I did beat 2 Psychic decks en route to winning. So it can certainly happen. Well, now I'm getting item locked. Like, you think I want to deal with that, bro? Are you kidding me? Now I get the thing, dude. This deck, the Roaring Moon deck, the cool thing about the Roaring Moon deck is that, like, it hypothetically it offers you like the perfect race, right? Like the perfect race deck where you just go like, I'll go poison knockout, Roaring Moon big knockout, Blood Moon game, right? But one of the reasons I stopped streaming the Pokemon trading card game live is just because I wasn't going to tournaments every other week. So there really was no narrative to it. I'm kind of retired now. But now that I like have the biggest tournament of the year next week, I've got no qualms with like trying to get some reps in. Because let's be honest, I'm not getting reps in paper. That's just like not happening. It's really difficult. It's just really difficult to test in paper. But that's part of it's like part of the charm of Gym Leader Challenge, though. I kind of love that for Gym Leader Challenge, you kind of have to everybody tests in paper for Gym Leader Challenge. I kind of love that. I wanted to get Jesse on this Wednesday, but I just was overwhelmed. I had way too much stuff I was trying to get to. Way too much stuff I was trying to get done. Boss, eh? Okay, so with Toxic Powder, I mean, That's fine. Sure. Yeah, this week has just been kind of a crazy week coming out of the back-to-back 3Ks. So as much as I wanted to have Jesse on, I was like, I kind of need to just focus on getting some stuff together here at the shop for me. I need to focus on getting a video out, and getting like as many projects kind of like tightened up before because I'm going to go to NAIC. I'm going to be in New Orleans for a few days. So like I need to get a lot of stuff tightened up here before I leave for that. But yeah, I think my least favorite part about TCG Live now is like building decks on the phone. I mean, like visually, I think that the client still has a lot of ground to catch up to, like, you know, being good. But building decks on the phone is like really kind of cumbersome. Building decks on the client, I'd say in general, is kind of cumbersome. Like I definitely have been not the biggest fan of like the deck building system since day one. But at least like the gameplay is like pretty smooth now. It's like smoother than it used to be for sure. I don't love the aesthetics of it, but you know, it's not my game, so it is what it is. All right. This deck is terrible. Yeah, and now that I like don't depend on this game to like make a living, it doesn't really affect me in the same kind of like it doesn't really affect me in the same way that it did. It used to cause me psychic damage. This is terrible. Okay. And this isn't a 60. Yeah, I jacked that up. 60 damage times the amount of, I was like, okay, well, I'm doing like 120 with this. No. I was not doing 120 with this. All right, I think the Roaring Moon deck is bad. I'm going to be honest. I think now I'm at this point where I don't quite know how it won a special event. I also desperately want Rocket's Mewtwo to be good, but I know that it's not. I know in my heart of hearts that it is not good anymore. Or ever. I know that it's not good. I know that it was never good. I tried so hard and got so far. Yes, I've tried. I've been trying with the Rocket's Mewtwo stuff, because hypothetically it should be like decent enough because you're a grass deck, right? And like not Monkey Dory, but Grimmsnarl's like everywhere. Right? So like it should be at least decent. I'm also somewhat intrigued by the top 4 Charizard Pidgeot list from Aichi. I don't know. Maybe it's just that this deck just like looks like a good deck to me. I'm like, oh yeah, you got Dusknoir, you got Briar, you got Charizard, you got Pidgeot. Like you got all the stuff that just like looks really good. You know, you don't have any of the nonsense. Charizard can one-hit KO like anything, except for Cynthia's Garchomp. Charizard can't really one-hit KO Cynthia's Garchomp. But that's okay. You know, that's fine. Alright, we got Cleffa. We got the Pidge. Let's go in with Arven. Yup, that's what we're getting. Feels good, man. We've got Charmeleon in deck. We've got Clops in deck. We've got Pidgeotto in deck. Feels good. Gonna want to go Evolution. Get those two going. My opponent's got a 1-card hand, so like I don't think I'm about to get popped off on with a turn 2 Garchomp. I think I'm probably okay there. But yeah, it like no matter how much kind of like I really want to play something for NAIC that's just not a deck that I'm gonna play every round. So for me, I feel like the two decks that I want to beat the most going into NAIC are Raging Bolt and Grimmsnarl. I know they're two entirely different decks, but those are the decks that I kind of feel like will be very popular. I think those will be default choices for a lot of players. Lucas over on YouTube wants to know if I've got any Neopets content planned. The thing is, since I've like kind of stepped back from streaming every day, I just don't really have the time to invest into other games as much as I may have used to. So I'm really just trying to focus in on the Pokemon stuff right now and trying to do that to the best of my ability, which unfortunately means that some of the variety stuff's like fallen by the wayside. But like that's why I kind of like cleaned my slate completely. I'm like, all right, I'm not doing any, TCG Live content. I'm not doing any TCG Pocket content. I'm just gonna focus on paper cards. I'm gonna focus on doing Pokemon Standard and Gym Leader Challenge. And those are like, if I can focus on just creating paper, Standard, and Gym Leader Challenge content, I feel like I might be able to do that in a way that I would be proud of and happy with. Okay, let's Arven, sure. We gotta get an Ultra Ball, but I've only got one Ultra Ball in my deck. That's okay, because I can get Pidgeot. Pidgeot can go get Charizard, and then I'm cruising, right? So we're gonna do that. Give me that quick search. You'll give me Charizard. Let's go. Funny because like I just did not play Charizard at all. I still don't like. All right, like TCG Live devs have done a lot in the last, I don't know, 6 months since I've been playing this game. But every time you use an ability or an attack, it still does this like swing to the left, swing to the right, jam its head up against the ceiling, kind of wiggle waggle. It still does the wiggle waggle thing. It's like they've made it look pretty in like in some ways, but then in other glaring ways, it's still that ugly old client. So that's probably a misplay benching that. That's okay though. All right, we're chilling now. When's the next hideout vid? I've got the next hideout vid recorded, but I have to edit it. So that's just always what it is, right? It's recorded up, but I gotta edit it. I'm very excited about this next one. It is different than any other of the hideout video, completely different than any other hideout video that I've got so far. Yo, what's up, Blizzy? Thank you so much for the sub and the 64 months. Yeah, I might stream a little TCG live next week, Monday or Tuesday. All right, looks like round 2 is going up here, folks. Full Grip Games. Okay, let's go. Yeah, screw this game. All right. Let's go. Round number 2 is here. We've got Fran versus Hoop coming right at you. Let's get into it. But yeah, I don't know. For NASE, it feels like I should just play like something normal and non-spicy. You know, but I hate that. I wanna play something different that like is also good, that I'm not just like copying from somewhere else. But I feel like the good decks are just really, really, really good right now. There's not really a lot of room. Like I feel like there's a gulf between tier 1 and tier 2 in standard. Yeah. Thanks, David Hernandez. I appreciate that. Yo, and Jack in the chat, I don't think I forgot about your text, Jack. I didn't. I just have had a busy week, but I plan to get on getting back to you about the gym. To be honest, though, you're not going to like my answer, though, Jack, because when it comes to working out of the gym, the time slot that works best for me is mornings. I mean, like early, like 7 a.m. stuff, you know. Those are the time slots that work best for me. The afternoon is pretty much all a no-go. All right, I'm stoked to see what Fran and Jack have got for us here. Metal versus water. All right, let's go. Let's freaking go, chatters. Metal versus water, round 2, GLC League Nights. Stream rematch from yesterday. A round 2 rematch from yesterday. But this time in Gym Leader Challenge format. And we've got Fran. He's piloting her metal deck. 1-0 so far. And Jack is playing water. All right. Should be freaking sick. All right, round 2 getting underway right now. And it looks like Jack is playing the Special Waves version of water, and we can tell he's got some of the telltale signs of that special energy water build, most notably opening the Articuno with the Blizzard Veil ability. Articuno makes it so that as long as it's in the active spots, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, you prevent all effects of that card done to your benched water Pokemon. So it is basically the Guzma Protector. It is the Lysander, the Boss's Orders Protector. Your opponent cannot target down your bench so long as you have Articuno in the active spot. So definitely a nice defensive card there. And we see Jack just attaching an energy to it and passing over to Fran. Fran has got the Stellar Wish Jirachi on her side of the board. And Ball Guy to open up the game. Ball Guy is a great start for Fran. I've already talked about how versatile Ball Guy can be in these GLC decks. And Fran going to take full advantage of that. Start getting set up. Another great part about Ball Guy is that it gives you access to that Hisuian Heavy Ball. And if you prized a basic Pokemon, it looks like Fran did not. But if you did, in Gym Leader Challenge format, it's a singleton format where you can only play one of each card in your deck except for basic energy. So in a format like Gym Leader Challenge, where you're trying to get singleton evolution lines to work, it's of paramount importance that you have access to basic Pokemon when you prize them, if you need them for your core strategy. Hisuian Heavy Ball, I think, is a fantastic card to exist in the Pokemon trading card game and in Gym Leader Challenge particularly, because it helps to relieve some of the downside of prizing your cards, which, in a singleton format could be kind of disastrous in Gym Leader Challenge, but it does give you some ways to mitigate that. There are also other cards just in the game that help you to interact with your prize cards, not just Hisuian Heavy Ball, but we've also got Town Map, which just allows you to play with your prize cards face up for the rest of the game. You've got Gladian, which is a supporter card that swaps itself with one of your face down prize cards, and Peonia, which allows you to switch like up to 3 of your prize cards all at once. But you have to grab 3 of your prize cards and then put them into your hand, and then put that many cards down. So it's like, it's interesting, all the different options there are to play cards out of your prizes. Apparently, there was a card printed in Japanese. It was like a Japanese promo or something that is basically Hisuian Heavy Ball for evolutions. Is that accurate? And it was never printed internationally. But I think I heard that is a thing. I'm not entirely sure if that's true. If anybody in the chat has any more info on that card, I'm pretty sure it's some Japanese promo. But that card seems like it would be incredible in GLC. But I also think it's from like the Heart Gold Soul Silver, or from the Diamond and Pearl era. So the point is, Pokemon could bring an effect like that back. And I think like the format would be better for it if you had an item card that was a ball card, Hisuian Heavy Ball, that searches out a basic from the prizes. God, I hope they print some sort of ball card that fishes out evolutions from the prizes. That would just be so cool. I would love that. All right, Articuno actually going to take the knockout. Jack doesn't have too much else going on outside of that. Just has to load 2 energy onto his bench Sobble. Cold Cyclone does 70 damage, which is enough to knock out that Stellar Wish Jirachi from Fran. But, as you see from Articuno, you do not have a choice as to whether or not you move those energy back. You have to. So, even if Jack wanted to keep the 2 water energy on his Articuno, he has to move those back to the bench. And now Fran has got an opportunity to put some pressure on with this Iron Crown. Iron Crown has the deleting slash attack, But deleting Slash, notably, only does boosted damage if your opponent's got 3 or more bench Pokemon. And Jack does not have 3 or more bench Pokemon. That is not a thing. And this attack from Iron Crown is not hitting Articuno for weakness, as Articuno has got a lightning weakness. So just 40 damage there to the Articuno. And Jack looks like he's got a Guzma and Hala now. So let's see what he can do with the Guzma and Hala. Discard 2 other cards from your hand. And it looks like Jack has discarded Hex and another card. Can go get a Stadium, a Special Energy, and a Tool card. It looks like Brookla Hill is going to be the Stadium, and that makes sense. Floatstone, one of the best tools ever printed. That tracks. Going to allow the Articuno to retreat into a different Pokemon. You know, maybe it's that Hisuian Basculin, and then Jet Energy as the Special Energy. Curious about the Jet Energy getting grabbed and what that is going to go on. Oh, sorry there, Mural, that you got timed out by the bot for posting a link. I apologize for that. Trigger happy bots. There you go. The Mysterious Pearl Battle Road promo. Yes. Yes, this is it. Look at all your face-down prize cards. You may choose one Pokemon you find there, show it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. Yeah. So it's any Pokemon. And this card's from like 2007. Only 81 copies of this card were awarded. There's a Dialga one that's any item supporter stadium, and there's a Giratina one that's energy. God, that's so cool. But yeah, I mean, only like 80 copies of this card exist. I should legalize it in Gym Leader Challenge. Yeah. Yes. Man, that's crazy. Yo, thanks for the lore there, Mural. I appreciate that. I had a faint recollection that this card existed. All right, Fran ended up taking a knockout finally with the crown. Still doesn't have a lot going on there for herself. Just a little 2-card hand. Used Mount Cornet to bump the Brookla Hill. Yo, Extreme Trash Gaming over on YouTube just started building your first metal GLC deck. That's hype. I'm glad you're having fun with it. Jack's got Professor's Letter. Can go get 2 water energy. Got a Citadel down 2, so we are starting to work towards something finally. But notably, Jack does not have any cards that search out evolutions or something like that, right? Something that I think I would have liked to see Jack do here. So Jack wanted to go for the Guzma play to stall, right? But when you're making this play, you don't want to leave the Sobble active, because if the Sobble gets knocked out, then you're out of luck, because as it is at this point, a Drizzile is a draw out for you, but You need to retreat the Articuno first. It's a little bit of a funky play, right? When you're playing Guzma, just anybody who played during the Sun and Moon time remembers these kinds of weird things that you had to do. Sometimes you have to retreat your active first and then use Guzma. So I would have really liked to see Jack do that on the turn previous instead of leaving the Sobble out here, because that Sobble could just get destroyed, right? If Fran had just had a switch out, then she could have punished Jack immensely for this play. But would you look at that? Jack's patience has paid off, and he has top decked a Professor's Research. So we're going to get to see some of these cards get played down, and then Switch Raft, wow, to heal the 30 damage. Go into Articuno, Jack. It's got free retreat. Just go into the Articuno. Go into, stop thinking about it. No! Stop. Go into Articuno. All right, whatever. Anyways, Jack will watch this back and be like, dang, bro, I should have gone into Articuno. You're right. I know, Jack. I know. Now, Jack is looking for the Satitan, which he does find off of the research. So here is Satitan probably coming down, right? Yes, but Satitan is weak to metal. So Satitan not really helping Jack a whole lot. Again, I would have still vastly preferred that Jack had Articuno in the active right now. So I think this is a misplay by Jack. He played the Switch Raft. He could have switched the Articuno into the active spot, but did not. And now risks losing his entire Satitan for nothing. I mean, really for nothing. I mean, the Satitan literally did no damage this last turn, and now is just going to get blasted by this Heatran. Satitan is weak to metal. That thing is super dead, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I just had to walk you down. They were getting out the damage counters. Ain't no way, dude. That thing's a gunner. So, rip to Satitan. Heatran leading the charge now. Does 160 damage. I think 80 plus 80 if it's got any fire energy attached to it. And as we see, Fran does have the fire energy on the Heatran. So that thing is kind of putting on a ton of pressure right now. Now let's take a look at that Heatran with the Iron Hammer. Absolute unit of a Pokemon card. This is one of the attackers that I like the most in the metal deck. Can just put on a lot of pressure if you get it powered up. 140 hit points, 160 damage for 3. Pretty solid damage output. Pretty solid girth as well with 140 HP. Got the Guard Claw attack, which can be situationally useful. And then it's got a retreat cost of 4. I mean, that's a hefty retreat cost. I mean, this Heatran he's thick. All right, Jack's got a counter catcher this turn and brings up the Duraludon, but I can't help but feel like Jack just does not have any of the pieces on his board that he needs to instill confidence. There's no Whalmer, right? So there's no Wailord on the way. Octillery is here now. We see Ultra Ball being played. You just need to retreat into the Articuno this turn. So I think, like, we're not out of it yet, but Jack needs to establish a Whalmer. Jack also needs to definitely get this Drizzile out of harm's way. Is that just a pass back and forth? Like Fran didn't have anything? Is that how fast? Oh, okay, no. All right. So Jack's going to swing for 30 with Drizzile. That's a bold move. I don't know if I like that. Keeping the Drizzile up there. That seems like unnecessarily sketch. Because if Fran had anything to move this Duraludon, then she would just instantly knock out this Drizzile. You know, is it worth it for 30 damage? Probably not. The whole idea of like the Special Waves Wailord deck is that you want to go 2-for-1 with Wailord, right? You want to like set up the massive Wailord and just sweep things. And Jack does not have that going on right now. Yo, what's up, Z-Man Cuddles? Thanks for the raid there on Twitch. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see. Fran has got a Varoom off of the Buddy Buddy Poffin to fill out her bench to 5. She's got a 1-card hand, but I can't quite tell what it is. And Jack does top deck Parallel City, which is a really good card to have in a moment like this. Looks like Jack has bought himself a little bit of time by bringing out this Duraludon. Now, Fran has the Arcaludon, and Arcaludon makes it so that the metal Pokemon don't have any retreat costs, so that would be huge. But obviously, Fran does not have the Arcaludon right this moment. So, he is stuck. Jack's got Inteleon, can use the Shady Dealings ability to go search for 2 trainer cards, put them into his hand. And he's eyeing up Aqua Patch and Ordinary Rod. And he's going to Ordinary Rod the Titan, Citadel, and 2 energy back into the deck. I would have liked to see Jack maybe go for Hisuian Heavy Ball if he prized the Wailmer. I have to assume that Wailmer's prized. And if that's the case, if Wailmer is prized, then Hisuian Heavy Ball would feel quite good. Just go dig the Wailmer out of the prize cards. You could just slap the triple acceleration energy or the reversal energy just straight onto it. Yeah, because the Titan is never going to survive more than 1 hit from Fran's deck. And with the Titan unable to survive a hit, the Titan's just going to get knocked out turn after turn, which is kind of against the whole point of the Whales deck. The Whales deck needs to be, you can see Jack's kind of in the tank right now, trying to figure this all out. The whole point of the Whales deck is that you want to be tanking hits with your big water guys. But yeah, Jack is kind of looking lost in the sauce, if you ask me. Is kind of what I'm gathering. Looks like he's going to go for Versus Seeker. Another Guzma play. And it's going to Guzma. This doesn't work the way you think it does. Stop right there. Read the card. It only works on evolutions. So, yeah, that's going to stay on your Articuno. And now you can choose a legal attack to use, of which I don't think you have any. got Parallel City. Oh, Jack is Jack is good. Oh man, Jack. Not like this, bro. Not like this. No, yeah, the Whales deck is certainly not the easiest Gym Leader Challenge deck to play. It is definitely a deck that takes a lot of practice. It does, in some ways, play like a. It does, in some ways, play like a control deck, right? Because you've got these really tanky guys that are really tough to knock out, and you kind of have to play your resources and your energy attachments and everything just right. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, a lot of Gym Leader Challenge decks are tough to play. I mean, they are, right? You're dealing with cards all the way back from Black and White through the most recent expansion. So, like, it's a large card pool. The decks, being singleton decks, are naturally pretty complicated, as every single hand that you look at is probably not exactly like any other hand that you've ever seen before, right? But that's the draw. I think that's one of the things that keeps a lot of players coming back to Gym Leader Challenge format, is that it is there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of little things that you can do right over the course of a game to help you defeat your opponents, right? And it seems like that's something that I always used to really like about expanded format too, is that I felt like back when they had expanded regionals, it felt like, you know, card pool knowledge went a really long way, and that there were so many players who would show up to like the expanded regional championships and just have no idea like anything about the format, and we're just kind of copying like whatever lists got posted online. And it got to a point where, yeah, expanded was like really fun for a little while, because deck innovation and card pool mastery really went a long way in that format. And like understanding of the card pool, understanding of like what decks' potential were, like understanding what every deck's potential is, just like goes a really long way in an expanded card pool like this, because you know like what's possible, right? So when you have players who understand, you know, kind of what every deck is capable of doing and what every deck might do, and obviously it's gonna go a long way. And in a singleton format like Gym Leader Challenge, that could be tough to master, but that's one of the things that makes it so fun, I think, for players, because there is a lot going on, and that, you know, in a hobby, keeps you busy. And ultimately, that's what we're looking for, isn't it? Keep busy and have fun. Jack's got an attack with Intellion, Aqua Bullets, Citadel back on the bench, but no Whalmer yet. And I think that is going to be the downfall of Jack in this particular game. Not being able to get that Whalelord out has been really bad so far. And Fran is just completely in the driver's seats with that Heatran. Iron Hammer again. Going down to 2 prizes remaining. It's hard for me to comment on how difficult it is to grasp the Gym Leader Challenge card pool, because to me it seems very easy. But then I also have played during all these card sets. Like I played during every single one of these sets getting released. You know, my first Pokemon TCG set was Noble Victory, so I guess I missed 2. But by the time I started playing in Noble Victories, obviously I became very familiar with Black and White and Emerging Powers, as those two sets had just come out, right? So to me, it doesn't seem so bad. But then also you're also eliminating all of the rule box cards, right? So like you cut the potential number of cards that you would have to learn, into a fraction. And then if you decide to just start, all right, I think we're getting a scoop here. If you decide to just start mastering a single gym leader challenge type, right? Which would be my suggestion for any new player looking to dive into gym leader challenge format. I mean, it is a ton of fun. If it wasn't fun, we wouldn't have 24 players here on a random Thursday night just to play a grassroots format that they can't win any championships points for. Like, that's all of these players here have gym leader challenge decks built just to play for fun, right? And to compete at local league, because that's how much fun it is. So, having a league certainly makes playing gym leader challenge format way more enticing. And but the thing is that a local league can, for a grassroots format, it's got to be something that comes from the community. So it's got to come from the grassroots, if you will. TPCI is doing a decent job, supporting the growth of Gym Leader Challenge format. They are definitely continuing to host Gym Leader Challenge side events at regional, national championships, and of course the World Championships, which is huge for the format as well. I know a lot of players travel out to these events with the intention of playing in the Gym Leader Challenge side events. And then you've also got the trainer trials on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. So that's been like a pretty big boost for Gym Leader Challenge formats just in the last month or so, as TPCI has kind of shown that they are committed to featuring Gym Leader Challenge on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live through the Trainer Trials program. So, I hope that the Pokemon Company International continues to support the formats, and that leagues around the country continue to pop up, because it is a ton of fun, and I think it is just a format that offers a very different vibe than standard format, but it's still the Pokemon Trading Card Game, right? It's still the Pokemon Trading Card Game, but it feels a lot different than standard formats. And it turns out, when you take all the rule box cards out, expand the card pool, and make everything singleton, it makes things a lot different. But it still feels a lot like Pokemon cards. It kind of feels like retro formats in some ways. It feels like how the game used to be back when it was a little bit slower. It kind of feels like that. It kind of feels like cube drafting, but without a cube. It's got a cool vibe to it. There's a lot of problem solving going into it. I mean, a lot of brilliant players have cooked up some really wonderful Gym Leader Challenge deck lists over the years. And yeah, I feel like it's probably the best way to play an expanded Pokemon TCG format. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but the singleton nature of it really helps keep overpowered cards in check, which is also pretty cool. So, certainly never been a better time to build your first Gym Leader Challenge deck with the North American International Championships coming up. They also have announced another Gym Leader Challenge trainer trial for the Pokemon trading card game live. So we're going to be getting yet another opportunity to play the Sun and Moon on Gym Leader Challenge formats on TCG live. Which should be sick. Did they not announce it yet? Maybe they didn't announce it. Anyways, there may be another GLC trainer trial coming up. So keep your eyes peeled. All right, folks, I'm going to take a quick break. When I get back, we'll be getting going with round 3 here at Gym Leader Challenge League at Full Grip Games in Akron, Ohio. Hang tight. I'll be right back with some more Pokemon TCG action right after this. All right, y'all, we are back. Thank you so much for the patience. Round 3 is coming up. I got to go downstairs and chat with some of our league goers. Ben Morse, who is playing my absolutely broken, infallible Tyranitar Hitmon combo deck, is 1-1 right now. He played against 2 Psychic decks, both of which were running bench barrier. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I mean, not bad, though. 2 psychic decks, both with bench barrier, still got a 1-1 record, so not doing bad. And I thought Alex Carpenter said he was playing the Hitmon combo deck, but he's not. He wimped out. He's playing water. So we've got Alex Carpenter said he's playing Trevor's second place list. And let's see what we've got going on here. I think I heard that Ben Peacock is playing Lightning Spread. Yes, so we'll get to see Alex Carpenter's Lightning Spread lists piloted by Ben Peacock. I mean, it could be, I guess, Ben Peacock's own list, but I imagine he's playing probably some variation of Alex's very popular 60. I think Alex and Hunter both worked on that Lightning Spread deck for a long time. I know that Alex is a little bit upset that he did not play his Lightning deck to the GLC 3K this past weekend. All right, we got Aaron Check on the rights. And Ben Peacock on the left. Both these players are 2-0. Heading into round 3 of GLC League Night here at Full Grip Games. Let's get into it, folks. I think Ben is playing the Lightning Spread deck. We've got some brand new electric artworks on the way from the White Flare and Black Bolt sets. So if you're a Lightning fan in Gym Leader Challenge formats, you've got some new swag coming your way. Both Dynamo and Electric are getting art rares. The Electric is an exact reprint of Electric from Noble Victories, which is super funny because we had Electric in format, and then we had no Electric from 2013 all the way up to 2023, and then Flaffy was printed a decade later, and now Flaffy's only been out of rotation for a year, and we're bringing Dynamotor back again, so that's pretty sick. It's real Dynamotor hours out here. Was it Flaffy in 2021? God. I just remembered playing Flaffy at the 2023 World Championship. So sure, Flaffy got printed in 2021, which was a decade after Electric got printed. And now we're bringing it right back. What's cool is that Lightning will have a new optimal Dynamo, though. This new Dynamo has 40 hit points and free retreats. The only other Dynamo that has free retreats is the one from Noble Victories, and it's got 30 hit points and free retreat. So you get a 10 hit point upgrade on your free retreat Dynamo. And to be fair, they all have 40 hit points or 30 hit points. So, it's not like there's a Dynamo with 50 hit points out there. So you just might as well play the 40 hit point one with the free retreat. It does dodge some stuff. The difference between 40 and 30 is actually pretty significant. You dodge a knockout from Mew from Unbroken Bonds. You dodge a knockout from the Monkey Dory if you're playing against Psychic decks. Yeah. All right, we've got round number 3 getting underway here at Full Grip Games in Akron, Ohio. Ben Peacock going to be playing first with the Lightning Spread deck. Opens Morpeko. It's a pretty solid opener. Morpeko's got 80 hit points and 2 attacks. Its first attack, Torment, does 20 damage for 1 colorless energy. And you get to choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks, and they can't use that attack next turn. Wow, Ben has got Hisuian Heavy Ball. I think found Electabuzz off that, and then right into Buddy Buddy Poffin. It's a very explosive turn 1 from Ben. I mean, this is exactly what you want. Getting your basic Pokemon out. The Lightning deck really wants to establish Zebstrika and a Dynamotor Pokemon early. So we see Ben going for the Mareep and the Blitzel so that he can evolve up into Zebstrika and Flaffy. And the whole deck really jives together, right? Because you've got Zebstrika with the Sprint ability, which allows you to discard your hand and draw 4 cards once during your turn. And then the Dynamotor buddies, Flaffy and Electric, both allow you to attach a lightning energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So you can sprint over and over again throughout the game to discard energy and churn through resources, and then you can use Dynamotor to recover the energy that you sprint away. So some nice synergy there. Now, Aaron has got Ball Guy, so they're going to get things kicked off. I think this is the third turn 1 Ball Guy we've seen on stream today, which is pretty exciting for all the Ball Guy fans out there, of which I know there are many. That's yet another turn 1 Ball Guy to get this game going. I mean, pretty ideal opener there for Aaron. And right away, we see that Aaron is playing that Manaphy with the Water Veil ability, which protects Aaron's bench from being damaged by spread attacks, right? You know, thank you, DTJ Laws, for that sub in the 56 months over on Twitch. Thank you so much for the continued support. I appreciate you, DTJ. Thank you. Yeah, turn 1 Ball Guy. Gonna allow Aaron to go set up a bunch of Pokemon. It looks like they're playing a, I think like a Hydro Pump style list. I did see Frostmoth somewhere in their deck, and here's Kyogre. So yeah, gonna be a Hydro Pump style deck. It tries to get these energy accelerators into play, and then launch huge attacks like Kyogre's Dynamic Wave attack, which does 180 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. You have to return 3 energy attached to that Pokemon to your hand. But this list is also playing Palafin. You know what? I've been thinking about this. Like, Palafin is so good, why not just put Palafin in your Hydro Pump deck? It does 210 for 2. Like, why not? It's kind of crazy. I'm into it. So Aaron's got the Escape Rope as well. And it looks like Mareep is getting pushed active. And Aaron's going to send up Kyogre and use Wave Summoning to go get an extra energy. Some nice mismatched bling energies. I do like that. But no energy acceleration getting started there on Aaron's side. Might have been nice to see Aaron go for the attack with Finizen, the evolution attack that allows you to just go and search out Palafin and switch to the bench. That could have been good, potentially. We see Ben play Guzma and Hala as his support for turn. And he can search his deck for Special Energy, a tool card, and a Stadium. What's interesting to note is that Ben does have the Silent Lab in his hand right now. So I'm imagining that he's going to sprint, but the Silent Lab is going to have to come down into play because the Silent Lab is the most important Stadium in this matchup because it turns off Manaphy's Water Veil ability, right? So the Silent Lab, very important in this matchup, and a card that Ben would like to save for a key turn when he's going to try and spread a bunch of damage with Electivire. I mean, this Lightning Spread deck really centers around 2 spread Pokemon. You've got Electivire and you've got the Regieleki. Electivire's got the high voltage current attack, which does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, and Regieleki's Terra Spark does 120 damage and 40 to 2. And with both Regieleki and Electivire kind of operating as a 1-2 punch, you've got some really solid spread attacks, right? So Manaphy pretty much single-handedly shuts this strategy down because high voltage current, instead of doing 50 to everything, it's just doing 50 to the active. That's pretty terrible. And Regieleki's Terra Spark's only doing 120 to the active for 3, which is very underwhelming, while discarding all lightning energy, right? It's just not very good. So this deck depends on that bench damage to really make up the gaps in the game. And Manaphy's water availability threatens really this entire deck's game plan. Now, Speed Lightning Energy going on to the Electabuzz, and I think we are just going to see Ben hold the hand, not sprint, retreat into Morpeko, and kind of be annoying, I would guess. And that's exactly what we're going to see Ben do this turn. And I definitely agree with this. You just want to save the Silent Lab for a better turn. So 100% agree with this move from Ben. Well, let's see, what does Aaron have? In response, I do see an Octillery in hand, so Remoraid can get evolved up into Octillery. I also see Frostmoth, but there's no Snom down to evolve into Frostmoth. We've got Palafin hitting the bench in Octillery. Palafin, again, very strong. I mean, can hit for 210 damage, but needs to have that energy attached to it. Justice Kick costs 2. Aaron doesn't have any water energy on that Palafin yet, so it's not really close to attacking. And then Kyogre is still multiple energy away from attacking as well. Is that a Mallow and Lana that got played? I have to imagine. Mallow and Lana to heal. Field Blower. I mean, if you're Ben, you're loving to see that Field Blower come down before the Silent Lab hits. And Noah offering up this Manaphy does seem like kind of a dangerous game. Would like to see Noah attach an energy for turn. And it looks like it's going to be to the Manaphy to retreat it. And we're just going to go Water Veil again. Okay, you know, this is one way to get an attack going, but Aaron will eventually need to start setting up an energy acceleration Pokemon like Frostmoth, because once Kyogre attacks, you got to shuffle all those energy back. Or put them all back into your hand, excuse me. So Ben decides that now is the time, lays down Silent Lab, and plays End. So both players are going to shuffle their hands into their decks and draw 6 cards, as no prize cards have been drawn yet. And with this, Ben is certainly going to be looking for maybe an Electivire would be nice. Get that charged up. Zebstrika would be nice. It's certainly not a guarantee, right? I mean, like, ooh, the Ultra Ball hit is quite good. But then you've also got the Lusamine in hand, right? And if you want to bring the Silent Lab back at any point in the game, the Lusamine is the card that allows you to do that. So if Ben's going to go get Zebstrika in Sprint, which I think that is what we're about to see, then he's going to be discarding that Lusamine, which is his recovery card for Silent Lab. Granted, there is still Versa Seeker somewhere floating around in that deck. And Versa Seeker could recover Lusamine and could get the Silent Lab back. So it's not the end of the world. Yeah, Palpad also could be in the deck. It's true. Looks like Dynamotor, Energy Attachment. Oh, no. And actually, so Ben is going to not sprint. And I really like this. Yeah, since he's got the attack guaranteed with Regieleki, just no need to sprint. He's already got the attack built up with Regieleki, so just save the Lusamine in hand. That way, you could Terra Spark. Knock out the active with weakness. 120 damage times 2 is 240 to the active. And then 40 damage to 2 bench Pokemon. And I do like Ben's patience here, deciding to hold the Lusamine, not sprint it away. Because now, if Silent Lab does get countered, Ben can just bring that Silent Lab back from the discard pile with Lusamine. Now, it looks like Aaron is kind of playing a low energy water build. I mean, I guess, right? Well, never mind. I take it back because I saw the Staryu and I immediately thought that it was going to be like Misty Staryu, Misty Starmie, but I take it back because that is not Misty Staryu. So that is just a Staryu. So may play Starmie from Evolutions? Yeah. Aaron's got a pretty interesting water build. I'm trying to figure out what the what the primary strategy is. We do finally see Snom come into play off of Irida. And Irida will also grab Capacious Bucket, so Aaron can grab 2 water energy out of their deck. But can't accelerate extra energy into play yet. Because Snom is just a little Snom and not yet a full-grown moth. So another water energy getting attached to the Manaphy. And TM Evo, I guess, could be a way to get these extra evolutions into play. So we do see TM Evolution. Octillery for 1 first. And then Evolution will target Snom and Staryu. So we're going to see those Pokemon come up into play. And sure enough, it is the Starmie from XY Evolutions. And there is Frostmoth from Sword and Shield base sets. And Frostmoth has got the Ice Dance ability, which allows you to rain as many water energy from your hand as you like to your bench water Pokemon during your turn. So great for getting those extra energy into play. Ben's got Hisuian Heavy Ball to go grab Tapu Koko out of the prizes. And Tapu Koko gets slammed down. Tapu Koko, just a great basic to have, as it's got free retreat, 110 hit points, just really solid card. And it looks like Ben is finally conceding that he may have to sprint the Lusamine away, as we see him kind of eyeing up his options here. And no, actually is not going to sprint the Lusamine away, is keeping the Lusamine and will just attack with the Regieleki to deal 20 damage with the Static Shock attack. Times 2 for weakness, 40. And Ben will take the knockout, go to 4 prizes remaining. And Aaron got to find a way to launch a meaningful attack this turn. I mean, it could be an easy knockout with Palafin. Ice Dance is live, but it looks like Aaron's kind of set on trying to power up this Kyogre. I think I would prefer to see Aaron just go for a knockout with Palafin, as it does seem like it would be easier to negotiate. But if this is Battle Compressor for Nessa, then if they've got Versus Seeker in hand, they can play the Nessa to get the energy they need. It still just seems risky because, yeah, and there we go. We do have that play. So Versus Seeker for Nessa. Yeah, this play does seem very risky because you're kind of going all in on this Kyogre. But well, Nessa does allow you to recover the Manaphy, which is nice. But you just Battle Compressored away one of your stadiums, so I don't really see what the line is there. Manaphy is going to go back down. 3 Water Energy can get accelerated to the Kyogre. Yo, thank you, Moonshot Network, for that raid of 9. Yo, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, 3 energy going to get accelerated to the Kyogre. I do hope that Aaron decides to go for the Zebstrika. I think that would be the best play that Aaron could make with this Kyogre. So let's see what they decide to knock out. We've got a Dynamic Wave incoming. Switch Raft does heal the Octillery meaningfully, by the way. And Aaron does identify that the Zebstrika is a key part of Ben's board and decides to use Dynamic Wave to take it out. But Ben top decks the Professor's Research. Wowza. Right in time. So Ben can use Rescue Stretcher. Put all those cards back into the deck. We could see Ben play like an even longer game where maybe he decides to Dynamotor and then just Hex and Static Shock again. I wouldn't be like terribly surprised if he does something like that. It's a little cautious, if you ask me. I think he can kind of afford to Juniper. He's got a Verse Seeker in deck, you know, you're fine. But it looks like he is going for the cautious play and is just going to Dynamotor to the Electabuzz, Hex Maniac, and Static Shock. And I think, again, just kind of realizing how valuable that Lusamine might be to bring the Silent Lab back. Now, Aaron cannot use any of his abilities this turn because of that Hex Maniac that got played. But Surfer, yo, gonna allow for the switch and counter energy. Okay, here we go. And then fill the hand to 5, but the hand is already at 5, so doesn't matter. But the counter energy on the Palafin, that does make a knockout, so big KO there from Aaron. Justice Kick. 210 damage. And now Ben. I suspect we will finally see Ben go all out for a big attack with Electivire this turn. I do think that Ben played a little slowly and a little cautious over the course of the last couple turns. Field Blower's down. Brooklet Hill got like Battle Compressored, you know. And I'm thinking with the Versus Seeker still in the deck for Lusamine, you could afford to just let all that stuff rip last turn. But I understand the Hex play because you do kind of make it so that almost nothing too bad can happen. And Ben plays Professor's Research. finds the Electivire now. Tapu Koko's in the active spot with free retreat. Does have lightning energy in his hand, so we can attach that to the Electivire. And Electivire is going to come in with a high voltage current. I think Ben would probably like to see either a Muscle Band or an Electro Power this turn. Was the attachment... Oh, yeah, it was a Dynamotor to the bench Electivire. Yeah. But again, Ben not wanting to... Oh, there is no sprint option available. That's right, because the sprint got knocked out. So, yeah, no dig available. So Ben will not be able to take the knockout on this active Palafin. Is actually not going to knock out anything on the bench either. But it is going to do 100 damage due to weakness to the active Palafin. And then 50 damage to everything else. And you can see how things are starting to get very hectic over here for Aaron. All of these Pokemon heavily damaged. And there we are. Wow. That's a lot of damage on the board. 350 damage getting dealt there to the entire board that turn from the Electivire. Thanks in part to weakness and the fact that Aaron had a fully loaded board of Pokemon. Aaron's got a Raihan, I think. Is that a Raihan or a Guzma? I do have the exchange ticket, the redeemable tickets is being played. So if Aaron's got anything in their prizes, they can play the redeemable tickets. Swap those out. That's pretty fun. It's a Guzma in hand, I'm seeing. So if Aaron wants to, they can Guzma up the Flaffy and then use Dynamic Wave to knock out the Electivire. I would like to see that play. You know, bring up the Flaffy or the Zapdos. Yeah, both of those are good targets. I like the Flaffy. That's fine. There we go. And here is Kyogre. And I definitely want to see Aaron take out the Electivire. There we go. Good choice. And Aaron will take the temporary lead thanks to Dynamic Wave. But Ben has got Raihan in hand, which can guarantee the switch out that he needs. So Raihan will accelerate a lightning energy to Flaffy. And then let's see what he decides to go with. Electro Power. The Kyogre's got 110 on it. This would be a good turn to just Flying Flip, I think. Flying Flip takes a knockout on the active Kyogre, and it takes a knockout on the Manaphy. So you put yourself to just 2 prizes remaining. You take out the Manaphy. You take out the Kyogre. You make it so that a lot of Pokemon are just barely hanging on by a thread. You make it so that you just win the game with 2 Flying Flips here, right? So that would be my hope, is that Ben just goes for the Flying Flip. And how freaking cool is Flying Flip? This card was a meta mainstay during its time in standard formats during the Sun and Moon era. It got reprinted a bunch of times. It was always a promo card. This card was never printed in like a main set. So I don't know. Me and my friend group always referred to it as Tapu Koko promo because it just was never in a main set. And there are 3 different promos of it. So yeah, Tapu Koko promo, kind of goated. Just a really good stats on this card, right? 110 hit points, free retreats, The flying flip attack does 20 damage to all of the opponent's Pokemon. So really good in spread style decks, which of course this is one. And then the electric ball attack, I mean, 3 for 100, not bad, is like just a kind of a throwaway attack to just do some decent damage. Oh, and actually, yeah, weirdly, Ben does not get to take the 2 prizes this turn because of the escape rope that he used. I was expecting Ben to not use escape rope and would hit the Kyogre for weakness, but that's not the case. So Ben has got, I mean, just an absolutely insane amount of damage built up on this board. Finding the dub should be pretty easy. Yeah, Tapu Koko promo was printed 3 times. It's got 3 different artworks. It's got this one here, which is the original. It's got the shiny one, which is like black and orange. And then it's got SM31 promo, which has got like a different artwork entirely. So yeah. I always use the shiny one. That's my favorite of the 3. Yeah. But it is funny that this card got 3 different promo prints and was never released in a main set. Yeah. It looks like Aaron's going to play Colress this turn as they attempt to piece together a win. 3 prizes left to take. They get to shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 8 cards, 1 for each bench Pokemon in play. Find some more water energy, sure. Slap those onto Kyogre. And is it going to be a Palafin? Looks like Palafin is coming up. But, I mean, just look how close to death Aaron is here. Aaron's got just 2 prizes remaining. Palafin taking the KO, but a ton of damage on board. Can Ben Peacock find the pieces that he needs to get the win? All Ben needs at this point is 1 flying flip. I mean, and this is just how impactful the spread deck can be when Silent Lab never gets countered. I mean, because this entire game, Silent Lab has not gotten countered the entire game. But Ben is basically playing this deck as if there was no bench barrier in his opponent's deck. And when the spread decks are playing against a deck that doesn't have bench barrier or any way to like heal, I mean, it almost feels like the outcome is inevitable because the spread is so impactful. So let's see what he's got. I see muscle bands. I think Ben's hand is actually atrocious. I'm like looking at it. Morpeko can like almost seal this game up, but not quite. Right? You've got like the spark attack. You know things are getting sus when Ben is just trying to load up the Flaffy to have free retreat. And all right, Morpeko is going to torment for knockout with weakness. I mean, Ben's hand is terrible. Ben like could lose this game with all this damage on board. It is possible that Ben loses because Ben's hand is that bad. Like extremely possible. Which is why I didn't like playing the escape rope that last turn, because it kind of saved the whale. Right? Because Ben could have just won the game there if they took a 2-prize turn the turn previous. But now you got Aaron with the shady dealings. You know, things could get weird. It's a very small deck that Aaron is operating with, though. The resources are almost completely shot. Pot helmets, okay, to the Kyogre. Timer ball. I don't think Aaron's got the cards left in deck to like, but we do get a hit. 2 hits, but I don't think there's anything that they want to grab. Oh, there is. One more Intellion, sure. Oh, Joe is texting me. Apparently, I was mistaken that the Kyogre was not going to get knocked out from Flying Flip. It had 90 on... Oh. Did it had 90 on it? You're right. I'm bad at math. Yeah. Thanks, Joe. It had 90, not 100 on it. I don't know. It was something... I was getting wigged out by looking at a 5 and a 4 next to each other. All right, but with Electro Power, it would have gotten a knockout. All right, so with counter gain now, it looks like Ben is able to take the win with Spark, doing 50 damage to the active and 20 damage to the bench, and barely taking the win thanks to Arvin for counter gain. And wow, I mean that is crazy. It's crazy to me that Lightning Spread deck was barely able to pull that one off in a matchup where Ben was hitting for weakness and bench barrier was not a factor. I can't believe the game actually ended up being that close. It seemed like there was so much wasted damage on Aaron's board. Ben was ultimately able to clean it up and take the win. Barely, but Aaron did a good job of targeting down the Zebstrika, taking out key Pokemon with Kyogre, and you could see, I mean, Aaron brought that down to just a single prize remaining, and yeah, Ben kind of barely scraped away with the dub there, despite the fact that it was a weakness matchup and bench barrier didn't play a factor in it. So I think that game was definitely very close, all things considered. All right, Fran v. Alex now, and Alex is on water, right? And Fran is playing her metal deck. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup ends up playing out. Good deal, good deal. Wow. Yeah, Lightning Spread versus Water ended up being really close. Kind of a wild game. For surely. Definitely a wild game. Yeah, that was sick. All right, folks, what do we got? Oh, yeah, check these out. We should legalize these for Gym Leader Challenge. Mysterious Pearl. Unnumbered promotional card. Okay. Mysterious Pearl is a trainer card. It's one of the unnumbered promotional cards from Japan. Look at your face down prize cards. Choose a Pokemon you find there. Show it to your opponent. Put it into your hand. Trainer CC says, I gotta reconsider Mewtwo for NAIC. Please sell me on it. Why? Please. You have, sure, you've got a grass guy. That's like, to me, that's the best part about the deck. Yeah, Spide Ops seems like the best part about the deck, and I'm trying to build it as like a Spide Ops deck. You got like counter catchers, you got like Defiance Bands. So like if your opponent takes a knockout, you can go Spide Ops, Defiance Band, counter catcher, bring up like a Pokemon with 210 hit points or less and knock it out. You know, like that kind of thing, right? And then you have got like Mewtwo can be like a closer, I guess. But ultimately, I don't think that the deck doesn't have enough. The vibe of searching through your deck is also sick. The vibes will give you the correct play every time. God, I wish that were the case. This card was awarded to the top 3 competitors from each age division in the regional Japanese Battle Road Spring 2007 tournaments held between March and April 2007. It was later awarded to competitors from each age division who won a battle at the premier stage in the Knockout Style Arena Challenge, a winter challenge in 2007 events held between November 2007 and January 2008. In order to progress to the premier stage, players had to attain 7 stamps in their battle passport. That's crazy. An estimated 81 copies of these cards were awarded. Do you think this card exists anywhere? You think this card, like... How hard do you think it is to, like, find one of these? There's one, $3,000. There you go, $3,000. That's pretty good, bro. We should legalize this thing. Yo, legalize it in GLC. They should just reprint this card. Yeah, they should reprint this thing. What do you guys think? Kind of crispy. All right, you buy this though and grade it. I'm just saying, you could kind of like, you could profit $3,000 on buyee. $3,000 on buyee. Take it, grade it, PSA 10, profit. Then you just got to find a buyer for your extremely rare trainer card that nobody knows exists. Only 3K, that's a steal. I'm saying, dude. Hold on, I gotta get... Is round number 4 going up? I was gonna show you guys the Mewtwo list I was toying with. I don't think it's good, though. It really doesn't seem great. I don't know. It just falls short. And trust me, I want to play the Mewtwo deck. I kept finding that I wanted just more basics to power up Spide Ops attack. So that's why I've got 2 Articuno, 2 Mimikyu, because I keep, like, it's a Rocket Rush deck. It basically is a Rocket Rush deck, right? And then I'm trying to just make the deck as consistent as possible with like 4 Earthen Vessel, 4 Ariana, 2 Defiance Band, 4 Proton. Dude, nothing makes me more livid than playing this deck and not getting the turn 1 Proton. Dude, like, what's the point? I came here to get the turn 1 Proton. When I don't get the turn 1 Proton, like, bro, that feels horrible. The list that I have here is like somewhat similar to my YouTube list for sure. You're still rocking the max belt. You still got 2 energy switch. We've got a lot of Earthen Vessels. You know, I got 1 Iono in here. I don't know. Seemed like a fine card. Defiance Bands allow my Spide Ops to hit 210 instead of 180. 210 is like a much stronger number than 180. Max Belt allows your Mewtwo to hit like 330. So like that's pretty good. Yeah, 3 switch is fine. I mean, it just doesn't. But the thing is that the deck doesn't like cheat enough. It doesn't have anything like unfair that it does. Like all the best decks do something completely broken that like no other deck can do. Like Grimmsnarl takes 1,000,000 prizes all at once. Gardevoir accelerates 1,000,000 energy into play. The Rockets deck has grass Pokemon in it. That's like the best thing about the Rockets deck is Spidops. Spidops is the best part of the Rockets deck. For sure. Don't get me wrong. I am aware that Spidops is the best part of the Rockets deck. I definitely have come to that conclusion. The Mewtwo is like very fine. The Spidops is good, and the Mimikyu is just literally a bench sitter who has free retreat. Because this thing, you pretty much never end up using it. I should probably switch to a couple Psychic Energy. I found myself wanting that. So, like, I probably should play 2. But. All right, gamers. Start your engines. We've got round number 4 getting served right up to ya. Let's go. And it's Hunter versus Chase. Chase was able to just top 8 the Full Grip Games standard 3K, so very happy for Chase with that top 8 result here at our Destined Rivals standard 3K. And he's hot off that finish. And I'm sure would love to earn a gym badge at GLC League tonight. Let's see what Natalie has to say. Hunter is 2-1 with Lost Zone Psychic tonight. Chase is 3-0 with Psychic. And Chase was the player who ended up defeating Ben Morse in round 1 with my broken Tyranitar deck. And then we've got Lost Zone Psychic. Sure. Ooh, no, not that. Sorry. Lost Zone Psychic from Hunter. Round 4 of 5. Oh, and Hunter's going to make me go through all the Lost Zone stuff, which I don't have programmed into the keyboard yet. That's fine. I'll make it work. All right, here we go. These players are getting started in round 4. We've got a Psychic mirror match with Chase Juicy on the left and Hunter on the right. Hunter is playing a very different version of Psychic than Chase. Chase is playing a more streamlined, traditional version of Psychic. You kind of got your good stuff attackers, right? Like your Iron Boulder, your Mewtwo, you got your Xatu, you got stuff like that. You're doing the normal Kirlia Gallade thing. Doing that whole thing. Feeling good about it. Thank you, Alex Holtz, for that sub. Appreciate you, Alex. And to the 42 months, thank you so much for that Prime sub, Alex. We see Chase checking his prize cards with that Ultra Ball, discarding Wobbuffet. Bide Barricade not going to be very useful in this matchup because Bide Barricade makes it so that each Pokemon in play in their discard pile and in their hand has no abilities while it's in the active spot, except for Psychic Pokemon. And this is a Psychic Mirror, so Wobbuffet will not impact either player this game, so it's a fair card to discard. See Chase immediately going for the Ralts. It's because it evolves into Kirlia. Kirlia's got the Refinement ability, which is great consistency option for the Psychic deck. Start churning through the deck, finding other pieces that he needs in order to get going. And then Kirlia, of course, evolves into Gallade, which is one of the best consistency cards in the format. With its Buddy Catch ability, allows you to search your deck for a supporter card, put it into your hand. And it's also got the very serviceable Swirling Slice attack, which does 160 damage and conserves an energy by moving it to one of your benched Pokemon. Other than this, I mean, Chase's hand looks like kind of garbage. And to be honest, he's got, I think he's got Xatu in hand, but must not have had Natu in deck, right? Or else would have gotten the Natu, I think. I don't have the best look at his hands, but I think it's a Natu or a Xatu in the hands. Or is it Kirlia? I think it's a promo Kirlia. I take it back. Okay. So then that makes sense as to why he went for the Ralts, because he's got that promo Kirlia in hand to start using Refinement next turn. Now, Hunter's deck is just going to be a huge pile of turbo items, right? I mean, we see trekking shoes, acro bike, trainer's mail, all that stuff. And the idea is to just try and get 10 cards into the Lost Zone as fast as possible. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do in Gym Leader Challenge format, but it is certainly possible, especially when you got cards like Comfy. Comfy allows you to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put a card you find there into the Lost Zone, put the other one into your hand. It looks like Hunter is going to go ditch Raihan to the Lost Zone and nab Buddy Poffin. It's going to allow him to search his deck for 2 Pokemon with 70 hit points or less, put them straight to the bench. That's 1 card in the Lost Zone so far. Additionally, Hunter's going to want to find Colress's Experiment as quickly as possible. Is the best supporter for these Lost Zone variants. Hunter's got the Farewell Letter. Send the Unknown there to the Lost Zone. Or not to the Lost Zone, to the discard pile, excuse me. Send the Unknown to the Lost Zone, draw a card. Kind of a funny little inclusion in this deck. Chase has got Professor's Letter. Go grab 2 Psychic Energy out of his deck. And then does have Kirlia in his hand. So he can evolve that Ralts into Kirlia and start using Refinement. Discard a Psychic Energy, draw 2. Finds Iono and Research. Great grabs there off of the Refinement. And we'll see if Chase wants to either just send this whole hand to the discard pile or to the bottom of the deck. Will it be Iono or Research? I personally, more of a Research guy here. What do you need these cards for? Escape Rope and Research. Who cares? And I think we're going to see a Research. Yeah, there you go, Chase. Let her rip. Research for 7. Boulder to the active spots. Hisuian Heavy Ball is good if a Pokemon is prized. Looks like he does have a prized Pokemon or two. And the Galarian Articuno is looking like it may get grabbed off of the Hisuian Heavy Ball. Iron Boulder has been one of the most popular attackers in these Psychic decks as of late. It's just a very efficient attacker. Adjusted Horn does 170 damage for a Psychic and a Colorless Energy. But the attack only goes through if you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent. Just great damage output for energy costs. I mean, 170 for 2 is about as good as it gets. Good bulk, 140 hit points. It's an attacker is just very good at getting in the game early. See, Hunter able to dodge an attack this turn. But what does he have coming up next? He's only got one card in the Lost Zone. No way your hand is that bad, Hunter. Are you getting ready to pass? No way, dude. Yes, Hunter just has to pass. That's how atrocious his hand is. I can't believe it. The Lost Zone Psychic deck bricking on stream again. Just cannot believe it. This is a huge surprise to us all. Chase has got Arven. And is going to use Arven. Can search out an item card and a tool. And we'll see what he decides to get off of these. And what's even more sad, is that Hunter has this Mimikyu in the active. And Mimikyu could use Filch to draw cards if Hunter had a single energy. But Hunter does not even have a single energy in the deck or in the hand right now, so cannot use Filch either. We see Chase trying to match hand sizes with Hunter so that he can launch an attack with Boulder this turn. Got Mr. Mime in play, which is easy pickings for the Lost Zone deck if it ever gets moving. And then with matched hands, Chase will take the first knockout of the game, going to 5 prizes remaining. And Hunter gets to promote his Comfy again. And we'll get back to flower selecting to hopefully find some pieces to get this game moving. Fog Crystals, not nothing. Can get a Psychic Energy or a basic Psychic Pokemon. It looks like Hunter is eyeing up the Psychic Energy out of the deck. So we'll get that. And then, where does he go from here? I am going to go out on a limb and say that I don't think that Hunter is cooking fast enough here to be able to win this game. I think that if Chase just gets like a couple of big guys going, that it might just be too much for Hunter to deal with. I mean, Hunter's like on one of those games right now where it's looking like he might not attack until turn 5 or something, which is just way too slow. He's got only 2 cards in the Lost Zone. Not really anything going. Got another farewell letter from the unknown, but no Colress's experiments. Not even any attack with the Uxie. And the Uxie, I think, places 2 damage counters on all of Chase's Pokemon. But, like, Hunter doesn't even have an attack with Uxie. And I think Hunter is trying to like maybe hold a hand that's too big. Yeah, you have to attach an energy to Uxie, right? I mean, like, you have to start doing something. And it just seems like, yeah, Hunter just doesn't really have enough going on. I mean, keep in mind, this deck is trying to get to 10 cards in the Lost Zone to attack with Sableye. That is a ways off still. And Hunter just has to pass again to Chase with like a very medium-sized hand, which Chase should easily be able to match hand sizes with. He's got Marnie and Skyla. I definitely like not playing Marnie. You see Hunter pretty much not doing squat, right? So I definitely like this. And it looks like Chase has got the Rare Candy Dusknoir play, so things might start to get hectic here, folks. Rare Candy into Dusknoir with the Skyla kind of cracked, honestly. And then Chase is going to use Cursed Blast to give Hunter a prize and take a prize himself. And then is looking for ways to match hand sizes, which funny is I think he's got Field Blower and U-turn board in the hand. So he can actually play the U-turn board, Field Blower it away, and then put it back into play, which is like kind of a cracked play that you can make. Because he could definitely do that, right? Oh, he doesn't need to, though. He's still got the hand match. All right. That would be sick, though. If he had to do that, that'd be hype. Adjusted Horn. Chase going to go to 3 prizes left. And Hunter has got some work to do, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Arvin for Night Stretcher and U-turn board at this point in the game where Chase only has to take 3 more knockouts. And that's the thing about Dusknoir is Dusknoir just like expedites the pace of the game. If you're playing against a slower deck like the Lost Zone deck, the Dusknoir just like cheats the game ahead of turn by allowing you to effectively just trade 2 knockouts in the same turn. Like Hunter finds Lost Vacuum here, but at 3 cards in the Lost Zone, you got to Lost Zone your own tool, and that's like your only U-turn board. And then you're going to go to 5 cards in the Lost Zone, and you still don't have Culberus's Experiment. It's just so far off. But yeah, I really don't see it for Hunter. I think this deck is, I'm not going to lie, I think the Lost Zone deck is just overcooked. I think it feels overcooked at this point. Inconsistent. And honestly, every time I watch it on stream, I'm like, man, it's just like kind of fumbling around again. So I've certainly have not been impressed with the Lost Zone deck the last handful of times I've seen it displayed on stream. It just seems like it is too spicy for its own good. And mostly just an inconsistent pile. Chase has got Mysterious Treasure, can go get Gallade out of the deck, put it into his hand. And Gallade is going to be able to use that Buddy Catch ability search the deck for whatever supporter card Chase wants, put it into his hand. This would be a big win for Chase if Chase is able to get to 4-0. It would just be one win away from taking down GLC Knights with his Psychic Brew. I know he's been working on this for a few weeks, so this would be a big one if he's able to get this dub. And thank you, Video Game House, for that raid of 9. I appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Chase has got Buddy Catch on his side of the board. Going to search for Bird Keeper, it looks like. I think is trying to increase his hand size without giving Hunter a new hand to work with, potentially. There you go. Actually, just was able to Buddy Catch for the supporter to increase his hand size by 1 so that he could match hand sizes with Hunter and take the knockout, going to just 2 prizes remaining. All with Iron Boulder, folks. And that's how easy it is to match hand sizes with Adjusted Horn. Hunter has only taken a single prize, and it was the one given to him by Chase's Dustnor. Hunter, at this point in the game, has not put a single damage counter onto Chase's board. And with Chase only having 2 prizes left, I do not think that there is a route. And the Shuppet is attempting an attack, I think, that would lock items, but fails it. So ball's back in Chase's courts, and Hunter does not have much to show for it. Just a couple of knocks, a couple of knockouts, and Chase will be cruising on to 4-0 here at GLC League Night. Really just going through the motions at this point, as Hunter has not scooped things up yet. So it's just going to hold on, see if his opponent makes any critical error. But I don't know that there's an error foul enough to mess up what Chase has got going on in this game so far. Chase is going to play Fog Crystal, get a Psychic Energy, and that's all fine. Energy to Gallade. And it looks like a level ball being played. Can go get Natu out of the deck, sure. And Chase has got Guzma this turn, so even if he can't match hand sizes, could just Guzma. I did like that Chase went for the Field Blower reattach. The U-turn board to limit the hand size back down. That was sweet. I do fully expect Hunter to probably extend the hand here shortly. Only 3 cards in the loss zone. It's not happening. It's really not. And I think it's okay to just... kind of admit that. When it ain't going, it ain't going. Mewtwo. Lost Vacuum. It's like 5 cards in the lost zone. Ticket. Sure. Nothing else. Yeah, scratch for 20. 0 card hand. but Boulder can just retreat, and that's going to be game. So GG's. Swirling slice for game. Hunter unable to get past a few cards in the Lost Zone with his Lost Zone Psychic deck. And folks, that is not where you want to be if you're trying to win a game of Pokemon cards. No, just stuck there in the mud, not doing anything. That was not the best showing at all from the Lost Zone Psychic deck, unfortunately. But Chase will advance to 4-0 after that victory, and now is just one win away from earning a badge. We'll see if he is able to seal the deal next round. All right, folks. You know what time it is. Time to play a game on the client. Let's go. Let's go, baby. NAIC ain't gonna test for itself. What if I did play the Mewtwo deck? I should build like Golden Go or something. What's a good deck? Grimmsnarl? Honestly, Grimmsnarl just seems like the best deck. It really does. Grimmsnarl seems kind of insane. Yeah, I am going to be at NAIC. It's going to be the only standard event I play in this year. So I'm trying to get some reps in. I'm going to be getting a lot of reps in with my boys this weekend. I did get my Switch 2, so I'm pretty stoked about that. But I'm going to try and hold off playing it too much until after NAIC because I've got a lot of work to do between now and then. And I'm trying not to... I mean, really, I'm going to NAIC this year to finish this documentary that I'm working on. So, like, yeah, I'll play, but I'm kind of just playing because I'm there working on something else. Maridon? Yo, what about the broken Yanmega deck? What about Yanmega? What if Yanmega's broken, guys? What if I could just play the funny spider? If I win the whole thing, will I go to Worlds? Yeah. You know what? If I auto qualify for Worlds at NAIC this year, I'll attend. Sure. Okay. Probably up against a maybe a Grimmsnarl deck. We'll see. If it is Grimmsnarl, we just want all of these. Probably don't want that. Well, that's fine. I mean, we've got... Yeah, that's fine. We'll just get these. Yanmega's good against Grimmsnarl and Zoroark. Probably nothing else, right? Rocket Factory. Alright, cool. Go ahead. Did we forget to play the stadium? No. There's the stadium right there. Yanmega is very handsome. Yeah, what if I can just play like... Yo, this is not Grimmsnarl. This is something else. Monkey Dory. Venture Bomb. What the heck, dude? What is going on here? Zacian. Okay, sure. Are they gonna double knock out my Tarantula? That kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't like love this. Yeah, I really wish that my 50 hit point Pokemon were just getting absolutely destroyed here, but you know, whatever. It's fine. Cool. We'll make it work. All right, going down 2. That's okay. I want to knock out probably Latias. Got that. We could bench this. I can Ultra Ball. But I don't really want to Ultra Ball. If I can get 1 Grass Energy into play, that would be big. So I'm probably going to play this and fail it. Because I want to Ultra Ball a Grass Energy away. Oh, but I also need to get an Energy Attachment down, right? I don't necessarily need to hit the Energy Switch. Yeah, I'll find Vessel or something. You know, it's going to be goated. I'm just going to Ultra Ball now. It's happening. It's all happening right here. Easy money. 8. See? Just like that. Money. That's why we play 4 Vessel. Okay. Charge up. Beast mode. Beast mode. Beast mode. Okay, that's cool. Erasure Ball. Dang, I really got it all. That was crazy. I'm nuts. Love that for us. It's great. And then I should just win from here. It was kind of cute how they took 2 prizes early on, but I really don't foresee them being able to do that over and over again. The one takeaway I've got from playing Standard for the last, I don't know, couple days is Counter Catcher seems like it is in a very good spot right now. Anybody else feel that way? I feel like Counter Catcher is kind of like, yeah, is just such a big deal. Listen, Alexander Holtz, if I want to get to the point where I'm playing against people who are playing real decks, I got to do this first. All right, here comes Tarantula again. Don't knock him out. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Don't knock him out. Don't knock him out. Don't be mean. Leave my spiders alone. Just let me do 280 damage in peace, please. But yeah, the Mewtwo deck it's too fair. It's like, it's too fair. It's not broken enough. You need to be doing something like extremely unfair. I feel like in standard format right now. Like, if you want to win games, you got to be doing stuff that's just absolutely filthy, disgusting. $280 hit point basic. Yeah, too fair. It's exactly what I'm saying. It's too fair. All right, you need something that's like more unfair. All right, we beat the Hopsashian deck. Whoopee. New ladder rank. I'm up to Snom. Freaking go, dude. I'm up to Snom tier. I probably spent 2 hours last night trying to cook a Rockets Tyranitar deck in standard format. Guess how that went? Horrible. I tried every Rockets card there was. I tried like every single one of them, except for Nidoking. The Nidoking EX is so bad it's not even worth trying. It's not even worth putting in a sleeve. But I tried everything else. Okay, I also didn't try the Porygon Z because I've already tried that and that is also terrible. Who's going first? You're going second. Did I try Ford Evolution? Of course I did. But it doesn't matter. You're just not doing. You have so much deck space dedicated to just trying to get like all these stage 2 Pokemon in play. And then you also are competing with the fact that like all of the best decks in standard format are playing multiple Monkey Dory. You're playing against like Grimmsnarl, which is playing. Grimmsnarl can power up 2 Monkey Dory in the same dang turn, dude. Like, that's craziness. All right. We're doing pretty good here. Charge up, get some extra energy online. And then I kind of just want to Ultra Ball away those. Go get another Tarantula. Yeah, that feels solid. Cool. Erasure Ball. The Mewtwo deck does feel like fine. It feels very fine. If I wanted to take a fine deck and finish with like a record of 4-4, then Rocket's Mewtwo is probably perfect for doing that. My favorite part about the deck is the Spidops, right? You think Spidops is basically a single prize, like a low maintenance single prize grass attacker that does 180. That's kind of just like what the Spidops is offering, right? And that's not bad. I mean, that's not bad right now because 180 damage as a grass attacker is one hit KOing all grass weak stuff. But like, you know, how is this hand dead? Like, come on now. All my supporters were in the previous 5 cards. It's fine. I still get knockout on Charizard with this hand, even though it's atrocious, which is kind of funny. So that's hype. Because all you need is basics. And that's something I was finding about this deck. It's like you just need basics, right? You just have to play enough basics. You have to be able to hit 180 on the turns you want to hit 180 because your margin for error with the Spidops is like non-existent. If you're hitting 150 for weakness, you're like you're not knocking out Charizard, right? You're doing 300, and that's like game losing. If you are short on a single knockout with Spidops, that's like a game losing situation. So you can never afford to be short. Like, what'd you say here? Like, I got Iono'd into a trash hand, but I'm still cruising. Yeah, with the Articuno, gas, dude. So I don't even have to put down a Mewtwo. That's fine. Yeah, we'll put over Articuno instead. Charge up here. Charge up here. Yeah, we're cooking. Keep that energy in hand just so I have it for a rainy day. Blammo. Surely I got to find some cards here. Give them to me. All right, Earthen Vessel, Energy Switch. Not the best, folks. They're not giving me the best cards. But that's okay. Charmeleon. It does feel nice to just vanquish grass weak Pokemon. That's the coolest part. The other thing that I like about the Rockets Mewtwo deck is that you can very easily pivot from a 2-prize board from a single prize board to a 2-prize board, right? So like the only 2-prize Pokemon you play is Mewtwo. So you really kind of just like you save the Mewtwo for like when the time is right. I prefer playing the deck as like a single prize deck. It's supposed to feel to me like a Spidops deck that features Mewtwo, not a Mewtwo deck that features Spidops. So that's the way I've been thinking about the deck lately. Think of the deck like it's a single prize deck. Don't play hardly any 2-prize Pokemon in it. Only save the Mewtwo for like the game-winning play. Force your opponent to go through just a whole bunch of Spidops. Seems solid. All right, I just have to pass. It's pretty much going to ensure that I get the nasty dub here. I can just Rocket Rush again. That's fine. I've got 2 Spidops in play. They can't go in with Charizard. You go in with Charizard, it's dead. Dragapult is harder to knock out because I'm not playing the Lily's Clefairy right now. I ended up cutting that, but I could potentially be convinced to put Lily's Clefairy back into the deck. It does just give you like a very easy matchup against Dragapults. All right, what about Iron Thorns? Why is Iron Thorns bad now? Iron Thorns won Worlds. What's stopping Iron Thorns from being broken in standard format? Iron Thorns just won Worlds. What if I just roll up with the Quad Thorns deck? What's stopping Quad Thorns from being absolutely broken? All right, round 5 is going up. Come on, I gotta win this game, bro. Your game actions are taking too long, brother. Look at how many more minutes you've taken off the clock than me. Players are getting ready for GLC League Night, the finale, the final rounds. And it's going to be Chase versus Ben. All right, there's a Dragapult in play. All right, and an unfair stamp. Bro, what if I can do it? I don't think I can do it. I own myself to 2. I could definitely win this game. I just don't think I can win in the amount of time it's going to take me before I have to get the next. See, Chase GSD 4-0. I can start updating the timer now. Ben Peacock. Ooh, it's a 4-0 face-off. Whoever wins, wins. Can you go ahead, hurry up with your prize cards, Mr. Glacier? I've got places to be. I have to get to work. All right, Iono's got to go. That card's got to get cut for sure. Ain't nobody out here playing Iono. Not on the Rocket deck. See, like right here, it's like you're hitting 150, right? You see how like got no room for error, right? $180 is so much better than 150 there. That Iono was trash. That would have been better as like anything else. I gotta cut that Iono for sure. All right, folks. This guy is gonna take way too long. I gotta get to the thing. All right. Final round, round number 5 of Full Grip Games GLC League Night. Let's go. We've got Chase Justy on the left, looking for a badge. We've got Ben Peacock on the right, looking for a badge. Ben Peacock's got multiple badges already at GLC League. I don't know that Chase has one yet. Yeah, Ben Peacock has got, I think, 4 badges. Yes, it looks like Ben Peacock's got 4 badges right now. So this would be his 5th. And Chase looking for his first badge. I'm looking at Ben Morse's league tracker right now. So I'm not sure if that's out of date, but all right, so we've got Ben Peacock with the Lightning Spread deck. All right, let me do this right. All right, folks, round number 5 is getting underway. We have got Ben Peacock sitting at 4-0 on the right with his Lightning spread deck against Chase Giusti on the left. Also 4-0 with his Psychic deck. The winner here in this match is going to take home a GLC badge for the night. And we see Chase looking pretty happy. Has an opportunity to earn his first badge here at GLC night. Ben Peacock looking to assert himself as one of the badge leaders. He's sitting at 4 badges right now. If he earns a 5th, then he will pull into a tie for second place. There's a tie for first right now at 6 badges. Both JD and Alex Carpenter, 6 badges apiece. Ben Peacock's at 4 badges, and Fran Steigar is at 5 badges. And that's kind of making up your top handful of badge leaders at this point. The winner of the badge race for GLC League earns free GLC entry for an entire year. So that's the player that ends the season with the most different decks won, because that's what you earn a badge for at GLC League. You earn a badge if you win with a deck type, but you don't earn repeat badges. So like once you win with Psychic, you can't earn a second Psychic badge. Once you win with Lightning, you can't win a second Lightning badge. You earn your badge by winning with a specific deck type. And the goal of each season, and the season lasts an entire calendar year, is to try and win with all 10 different types. There are only 10 types in the Pokemon TCG. Only 10 supported types. They have a canceled type. I mean, Fairy is canceled. Okay, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. But Pokemon stops printing Fairy type Pokemon after the Sun and Moon era. So yeah, Fairy not really a real type. You could play it. You'd be at a severe disadvantage. There are 10 supported types in the Pokemon TCG, and the goal of the GLC season is to try and win with all 10 different types. This is our second year doing it. Last year, Ben Morris and Alex Carpenter got to 8 badges, and I got to 7 badges. Last year, I was unable to win with Fire, Dragon, or Fighting. Those are the 3 that I got stuck on. I was the first player to get to 7 badges, so I was in the badge lead when I got to 7, but then both Ben and Alex were able to pass me up by earning an 8th, while I just spun my wheels playing terrible Fire decks. It was horrible. And also losing like with Dragon week in and week out. So it was very vindicating for me to earn my Fighting badge last week when I played in GLC League, because I did not earn a Fighting badge last season when I played all season. And I think, you know, this is only the 3rd league I played in this year. I think I played the first 2 weeks, then my son was born, and then I haven't played since, and then I played last week and I won a Fighting badge, so I was pretty stoked on that. And again, the badge leader at the end of the year will take home a trophy and will get free GLC entry for an entire year. There are 7 weeks to play left, including this one. Chase going to go with Mimikyu there, and Filch to draw 2 cards. Doesn't have the most robust looking board. Let's see what Ben can do. He's got a Marnie, Electivire in the active spots. And then he's got to draw a 5. Does find Green's Exploration. That'll work next turn, as he does not have a Pokemon in play with an ability. So probably eyeing that up and just has to pass. Yeah, not really anything to write home about this turn, but it looks like Chase definitely ended up with a better looking hand off of the Marnie to 4, and is going to play Arvin. Arvin can go get him a tool card and an item card out of the deck. Looks like he's eyeing up Evolution Incense. And probably U-turn board be another good one. And then I'd expect Chase to probably end the turn with Filch again to just draw 2 more cards. It does feel like a kind of situation where you'd maybe want to get Buddy Poffin to just go get a couple more of your setup guys and get them established, but I don't think that I see the Buddy Poffin in the deck, so it's probably prized. And the rest of this hand kind of stinks. So you are in this weird situation where you're like, okay, well, I can't Buddy Poffin, so you probably have to just go get like Quick Ball or Nest Ball or something and just settle for a single Pokemon. None of it feels great, but it's kind of just what you probably have to do. You could go Evolution Incense for Xatu if Xatu's in the deck. And then you could just start, throwing energy on Mewtwo just cause he's there, I suppose. And Chase is going to have to make a decision. Yeah, Skyla and Arvin in the deck is really cool. I think that's fun. Lots of trainer tutoring happening in this particular list. It's looking like Chase may finally have landed on a decision with the U-turn board and... No? Quick Ball, yes. I mean, obviously that decision gets a lot easier if you... The decision just gets a lot easier if you've got Buddy Poffin in the deck, right? Yeah. I mean, Chase is getting into the... These are the games that are going to, earn you the badge, though, right? Like, you play out of these games with, like, the wonky starting hand and, like, the weird prizes. These are the games that earn you the badge. So, Chase is going to Quick Ball for Ralts and then Filch for 2. And that's fine. I mean, really, you're not under any pressure from Ben yet. So that seems okay. Recycle energy to Mewtwo. U-turn board down. And that seems fine. Filch for 2. Finds rare. I mean, okay, right? Like, you got Rare Candy Evolution Incense. Like, after all, why not? Yo, what's up? Ruination Awakens over in the Twitch chat says they just ordered a ton of Gym Leader Challenge cards trying to make a fighting spread deck with Rockets Tyranitar and Hippowdon. Yo, good luck. That's awesome. I just built a Rockets Tyranitar fighting deck myself, and I love it. I think it's so much fun. It's really cool that the Pokemon Company International is starting to put Gym Leader Challenge formats onto the Pokemon trading card game live intermittently now. So, love that as well. Just great for the growth of the format. It's a great way for players to try it out every once in a while as well. All right, Ben going to play Professor's Letters, one of the cards he got off of his Green's Exploration. Green's Exploration is a supporter card you can only play if you have no Pokemon with abilities in play. Ben's board checks that box. That's the reason why he's not playing the Fluffy Pillow Mareep or any basic Pokemon that have abilities, because then Greens wouldn't be active. And Greens is a powerful supporter card for getting things set up. As we see here. You know, in a singleton format, getting to hand select whatever 2 trainer cards you want out of your deck is extremely good. 8-Bit asking in the Twitch chat, what's a good deck to start with in Gym Leader Challenge? I think Water and Psychic are really good. Really good decks to get started with. I also always suggest Grass. Grass has got a lot of new cards in it. I think Grass also is just like a very kind of fun deck to pilot. Water and Grass. Psychic's got a lot of newer cards in it as well, making it pretty easy to get everything you need. People will tell you that Grass has the Roserade that costs $15, so they'll try to scare you away from that. But Grass is cool. Water's cool. Psychic's cool. Lightning's cool. Fighting's cool. Really, all the types are cool. Start with your favorite type. Can't go wrong. Eight-Bit says, I play Flesh and Blood. $15 for a card is nothing. I'm saying, you try to bring that perspective to the Pokemon TCG community. They don't want to hear it. I know. That perspective means everything. I know. It's a collectible card game, folks. Some cards are going to be $15. That's just the way it is. In the year Tapu Lele came out, I remember Tapu Lele GX was a $55 card. I had to buy a couple of them at NAIC the year it came out, and I was paying $55 for that. I remember the year Mewtwo EX came out in Next Destinies. I mean, having to spend $55 on it, just a standard card that every deck had to play like 2 to 3 of. It's just like if you wanted to, dude. My favorite deck when I first started playing the Pokemon trading card game was Blastoise. And Blastoise had to play 3 copies of Tropical Beach. I remember saving up every penny I had to spend $500 on 3 copies of Tropical Beach. Because that's how much you could buy when I was starting to play. I had to spend $500 on 3 Tropical Beach just so I could play my favorite deck. But it was so sick and it was so worth it. I top 4'd my first regional with that deck. I top 8'd my first regional with that deck, actually, with the Blastoise deck. And then I top 4'd my first regional with Raybor, which was like kind of like a fire version of the Blastoise deck. Literally the same deck. All right, we've got this Electivire poking for 30. Yeah, and that's the thing about building a Gym Leader Challenge deck is that if you do play Standard, you've probably got a decent amount of the attackers for certain decks, and then you kind of just fill in the gaps. And what I tell people is that your Gym Leader Challenge deck is going to cost less than an Elite Trainer box. And people are always buying Elite Trainer boxes for like no reason, bro. Like people buy Elite Trainer boxes just to throw their money into the toilet, bro. It's like, tell me I'm wrong. I'm literally not. Like, you waste your money on an Elite Trainer box, but then won't build a Gym Leader Challenge deck. Like, that's so crazy to me. Like, you will gladly spend $80 on Elite Trainer box, but will not build a GLC deck. Like, that's so nuts. All right. Boards are getting set up very slowly this game. TV Boy says that Azul and Chip said that I topped a regionals with a crazy code Porygon deck on their podcast. That is not true. I've top cut quite a few regionals, but never with crazy code Porygon. I wish I had. I've top cut with Snorlax VMAX. That is just simply not true, though. I do wish it was true. One of the coolest decks that I ever played to a regional was like the Raikou Electric. I got 18th place at a Collinsville Regional Championships with Raikou Electric. It was Thunderlance Raikou. That was freaking dope. Snorlax VMAX is by far the coolest deck I've ever top 8 at a regional with. Yeah. It's definitely Snorlax VMAX. I don't know. Top 4ing a regional with Raybor is also pretty cool. So, but that was pre-Limitless records. My first ever regional, the first regional I ever top 8 was like 2013. That was before Limitless started keeping track of that stuff. And then I top 4'd a regional with Raybor in 2014. Yeah, Snorlax VMAX. The last expanded regional ever. Yeah, that was sick. All right, I'm honestly these are both the undefeateds. I'm just waiting for somebody to do something here. Someone's going to take a knockout eventually, right? All right, Chase is going to retreat into Mewtwo. Now, Mewtwo, keep in mind, only does boosted damage if the opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining. And that's not the case. So this is going to be a 2-hit KO that Chase is trying to build up. It's just going to do 90. All right, we've got damage on the board, folks. Ben is going to Volkner. But the thing is, Chase is playing that Mr. Mime, right? So he's like... I know, Chase probably wants this win bad, because if Chase gets the win at this point, like, he gets an invite to the GLC Invitational. So every player that earns a badge this year at GLC League gets an invite to the Gym Leader Challenge Invitational, which is happening in August. And the GLC Invitational winner will get a trophy and a booster box. Just a fun little tournament for all the badge winners to participate in. The gimmick of the Gym Leader Challenge Invitational is that you can only play a type of deck that you won a badge with at Full Grip Games this year. It's going to be the first time we're ever doing this tournament. And since I qualified, I'm going to just record the games and maybe do like a recap of the tournament instead of streaming it so that I can participate. So it should be a fun production regardless. But yes, I'm definitely not going to pass up one of my few opportunities to play Gym Leader Challenge. This year, so that one ain't getting streamed. I'm gonna play my dang fighting deck. You know I got to. That, or I could hop in here one more night, get qualified with something else. No, I think it's only I think it'd be legit if I just waltz in with the fighting deck. The crazy thing is, though, everybody's gonna know what I'm playing. Everybody's gonna be teched, bro. Everybody's gonna be teched. It's double elimination. So the toughest matchups will probably be the Psychic decks with the Mr. Mime. But you've got the Tyranitar, so like you can do it. You just gotta set up Tyranitar and let that thing go to work. Alright, Chase is gusting back out this Electivire. Gonna take the knockout with Mewtwo. Go down to 5 prizes. He's got his prize cards flipped over thanks to Town Map. Chatter on YouTube says, super excited to play that fighting deck, but then I saw the Tropical Beach in the build. Just played Jubilife Village then. Also, in Gym Leader Challenge format, we always encourage that tournament organizers allow World Championship cards to be played in decks. So, I don't know. How much does a World Championship Beach cost at this point? There was a point where a World Championship Beach cost $40 or $30. Oh yeah, dude. You could get a World Championship Beach for like $15, $20. You can get a World Champ Beach for $20. Easy money. There you go. You know, or you get a real one for like dang near 1,000. Yeah, if you like Gym Leader Challenge and you play, I would highly recommend just picking up a World Championship copy of Beach. It's just a cool card to have. It's a very rare Worlds promo, and it's just a really good, useful card, and you can just still get a World Championship copy for $15 to $20. Is like, that's just it's a good price for that card, really, considering you know how old and kind of rare it is at this point. You know, I'm not saying that anybody's got to shell out for an English copy, but the fact that you can find World Championship copies for $15, $20, and anybody who abides by the guidelines set forth on gymleaderchallenge.com will allow World Championship cards to be run with opaque sleeves, of course, at their events. But I cannot, you know, I cannot force people to abide by those recommendations. And, you know, TPCI often likes to do their own thing. So I can't tell them what to do with their regional championships at the side events, but I would highly suggest that judges allow players to play with World Championship cards so long as the sleeves are opaque, because, be honest, it's not hurting anybody. It's just allowing more players to play the game. So I remember I bought a French Tropical Beach in 2018. I bought a French Tropical Beach for $35. So that was sick. And Chase has got Gusts, Knockouts, another prize taken with Mewtwo. This Mewtwo is really putting in a lot of work. Limit Break for 90. Not the way we see Limit Break used most often, but when it works, it works. The decent thing now is, though, that like if anybody really feels bad about, not being able to play Tropical Beach, you could just play your Jubilife Village. It's like it is a suitable replacement for the card. So, Shuffle Draw 5 is not exactly the same as Fill 7, but they're close. So, if you do have a World Championship Beach and somebody is being a pain, you could just keep a Jubilife Village in your deck box, and there you go. All right, Ben going to play Hex Maniac. Venom in the Twitch chat says, I bought a playset of Top 32 Beach at Dallas Regionals in January 2019 for $1,200. Yeah, you made out on that. Good investment. All right, Ben is going to go use Terra Spark on Regieleki this turn and is able to hit through Mr. Mime's bench barrier ability because of the Hex Maniac that he played, which turns off all abilities until the end of Chase's next turn. All right, let's see. Chase got Rescue Stretcher. Can bring back a Pokemon. He's pretty close to being able to attack with Gallade. He's got Raihan in hand. That is going to be the difference maker. Raihan is kind of that get out of jail free card. It feels like whenever Hex Maniac gets played, Raihan is a card that can allow you to accelerate an energy on a turn where your opponent didn't expect you to be able to accelerate an energy. But we see not only does Chase have Raihan in hand, he's also got Dimension Valley, he's got Teammates. I mean, Chase has got like all of the cards that are going to get him out of this Hex Maniac play. So honestly, he probably does not care too much about that Hex getting played at all. He's got plenty of options. It looks like Chase is thinking about attacking with Mimikyu, which is super funny because with Mimikyu, Chase can actually kind of play some of the spread game himself. If Chase spreads 40 damage to 2 Pokemon, I don't think that there's any way that it's going to add up in a meaningful way, but it could. And here comes Mimikyu, Copycats for the knockout, Terra Spark. And how does that feel? Getting Terra Sparked right back with 2 energy thanks to Raihan. Chase able to play that Raihan supporter to accelerate an extra energy into play. And he gets to search his deck for whatever card he wants since Ben took a knockout during the last turn. And I think Ben is looking like he's in a tough spot. This is actually turning into a good game. It always ends up being like the games where both players are starting off super slow. Those always end up being good games because both players kind of ramp up to the point where they're actually doing stuff around the same time. And we've got a real close prize race. But the thing is, I would say that Ben doesn't look like he's got enough. Doesn't look like he's got enough damage on Chase's board, I would say. And the fact that he's up against the bench barrier, I mean, just really makes this tough. Ben's got Iono and is just now trying to like recover the Electivire. It does feel like it's a little bit too late, I think. Lightning Energy to Electabuzz. It's got Enhanced Hammer, which doesn't do anything because Enhanced Hammer just bounced that Recycle Energy back to the hand. And can retreat into Zapdos. Zapdos does trade with the Mimikyu, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. Thunderous Assault, going to take Ben down to 3 as well. But Chase's board is looking pretty strong. I mean, the stability of Gallade, right? And the fact that Chase has the Duskull down, so could spring ahead with a Rare Candy Dusknoir. And then kind of force this game to end prematurely, and that's just what Dusknoir does. There is a Dusknoir in the hands. The fun thing about this finals, these two are good friends as well. They do a lot of playtesting and traveling together to regional championships and stuff. And for these two to meet in a Gym Leader Challenge League Night Finals is really cool to see. And historically, Ben has kind of been the one in this friend group who is more into Gym Leader Challenge than the rest. But lately, Chase has really been getting the itch to play GLC. And it's been cool to see Chase apply himself and improve week in and week out with the Psychic build. He's really been working on it. As you can see, he's got his own brew here. I mean, there are definitely some card inclusions that I would say are atypical, like playing the Skyla and the Arven in the deck is pretty cool. Does give him some, some unique ability to search out the exact trainers he wants on the turn he wants them. He's got Galarian Articuno now, who he's charged up with the Cruel Charge ability. And this could just be the nail in the coffin, taking out, you got to take out the Zebstrika. We already know. It's got to be the Zebstrika, right? I mean, I know you probably are thinking about the Electabuzz, but taking out the Zebstrika is so key. I think if you're just not afraid. And he's going for the Electabuzz. A little afraid. That's okay, Chase. It's okay to be a little afraid. You've got Mr. Mime. Don't be afraid of Electabuzz. But I do think that perhaps it probably is the better game-winning play to just go for the Electabuzz. Yeah, no, I think I agree with Chase. Now that I'm giving myself a beat to think about it, because the Electabuzz is the only thing that Ben has in play that could even potentially take. But even so, I mean, now that I'm kind of looking at it, like the Electivire can take at most one prize card. With a Silent Lab, Chase has done a really good job of kind of like mitigating the spread damage that he's taken so far. And I think that Chase is just going to win this next turn. Can blow up Dusknoir. And then just accelerate the game to its end state. And just steal the win. And let's see, he's looking at Silent Lab, but at this point, like, I don't think that that's going to be enough. Ben's got the Silent Lab off the teammates, can turn off Mr. Mime's bench barrier. Yeah, Mr. Mime's got 70 hit points too, right? So not going to be the easiest dude to KO. I mean, the flying flip won't get there. But you got to go for this play where I might have liked to see Guzma first. Yeah, sure, enhanced hammer. Why, after all, why not? Recycle goes to hand. Yep. And sprints. And didn't find a supporter. I did expect Ben to maybe go for Guzma. You could like Guzma out the iron boulder and hope that Chase can't match hand sizes, I guess, right? It's not like a good bet, but I think that's the bet you're trying to make. You can't stall the Dusclops. You can't really stall Xatu. I guess, you know, the Galarian Articuno is actually the optimal Pokemon to have in the active, so Ben's correct. No Guzma. I forgot this Galarian Articuno's got a retreat cost of 2. He's fat for like no reason, so. And there's a flying flip, but Chase should be able to seal this game. Dusknoir in hand. And then so long as he's got a way to switch this Galarian Articuno out of the active spots. But maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does not. He does have the counter stadium in hand, ready to go. The enhanced hammer could have made a big difference, as it makes it so that Articuno is not just an energy away from retreating. Ben's only got 2 cards in hand. So matching hand size is not going to be the easiest thing to do. And we do see Chase evolve into Dusknoir and is going to use the Curse Blast ability to take out that Zebstrika, going to just 1 prize card remaining while leaving Ben with 2. Ben takes a prize card. And then Buddy Catch. I think there's a rope in the... There's Bird Keeper. Yes. So Bird Keeper could do it, but Chase needs the Psychic Energy in hand to use Clairvoyant Sense to accelerate. So if he's got a Psychic Energy, he can use Xatu's ability. But I don't see a Psychic Energy right now, so he's just going to Bird Keeper into... Looks like... I thought he was going to Bird Keeper. Yep, he's going to Bird Keeper into Xatu. If he finds a Psychic Energy, the game ends immediately. And he does find it. So he can use Clairvoyant Sense to accelerate onto Gallade. Got the Recycle Energy, and Chase is your league winner. Let's go, Chase. Getting his first badge at GLC Nights. And I am so proud of him for this win with his Psychic deck. Did a great job piloting it today. And you can see how stoked he is to get that win. Great job, Chase. Fantastic run. Kudos to Ben Peacock as well on a good run with the Lightning Spread deck. Definitely a good night to win. 24 players in attendance for GLC League Night. So, gonna earn a decent chunk of store credit as well. And obviously get the extremely coveted badge for the badge board and an invite to the Full Grip Games Gym Leader Challenge League Invitational. Congratulations to Chase on the dub. And that is going to do it for me tonight, folks. Thank you guys so much for joining in. It was a lot of fun. That was a good league night. 5 rounds, 24 players, good turnout. Absolutely love it. I am considering doing a standard TCG live stream on like Monday or Tuesday during the day to help test for NAIC, just to like get some reps in. And it's like almost like what's the point of playing TCG live and not streaming it? So like I'll probably just stream it, right? Because I have to test for NAIC. So like I have to get games in. I have to just go through the motions. So I may do that on Monday or Tuesday. I'll post in the Tricky Gym Discord. Let you guys know what my schedule is. Y'all take it easy and have a wonderful night. Have a great weekend. Stay tuned for a new Gym Leader Challenge YouTube video on my Rockets Tyranitar deck coming out soon.